remember you?
Will you remember me? For only $3 a month, you, loyal listener, can sponsor a sober podcaster. You can have access to our Patreon feed. Okay, guys. You can have access to our Patreon feed at patreon.com/worstpeople, WORSE. Every month, you'll get a mental health episode, which is us covering a movie that we like, a good movie. You'll get a newsletter talking about what's coming up and things that are going on with the show. You get access to archived episodes, and we have some other things in the works, including early access to Jack and I's Star Wars podcast, Han Took Shots First, and I have a couple other ideas in the ether.
Hopper.
Yeah.
In the mix.
So, I mean, for only $3 a month, you can help fight sobriety.
Yes. For just $3 a month, you can make sure that we have beers.
No podcaster left sober. That's my initiative, and I'm taking it across the country.
And it will be every month, without fail. You will get an extra episode. And like I said, there will be more benefits to you. So please check it out. Patreon.com/worstpeople.
If there's a trailer that shows me a car on fire and it keeps driving, I'm going to watch it.
I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Jack.
And this is Bad Movies,
Worst People.
All right, welcome back, everybody. As we said, this is Bad Movies, Worst People, and Cars Are on Fire. This week, we're discussing 1974's Watch Out, We're Mad.
Or,
Otherwise known as.
otherwise, we will get mad.
So this
Yeah.
came about, and I don't even know if you know this. We were sitting at Harbottle trying to look up something different, and this just came on the IMDb. And
We were looking up Miami Super Cops.
There it is.
Also starring Terence Hill and Bud Spencer.
which might have to be on this.
Yeah.
But Derek and I watched this trailer with no sound on, and sure enough, there was a car on fire that kept driving.
Is this when I was in the back, like, giving you guys samples of the new beer that was
Yeah.
coming out?
Yeah.
All right.
So just a silent trailer, and I think maybe like a minute in, we both like, oh yeah, I want to watch that.
Yeah, the trailer was like dune buggy race or like whatever this rally race is.
Yeah,
they have.
it's a rally
And
race.
then a car on fire, and I was like, sure, whatever.
This car is on fire.
Sing it, girl.
I'm a boy.
Something about tires burning. I don't know. I got nothing. I don't know the song. That's as far as I know.
I was gonna say like my parody stops at that. My Perry ED. Isn't that Katy Perry ED?
No, your sex is
No.
on fire?
It's Keys, Alicia Keys. This
Damn.
girl is on
Oh, is that this girl?
fire.
I'm thinking your sex is on. Was that a sex?
Kings of Leon.
Yeah. Sex
Maybe.
on fire? Is that a song?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a
All
song.
right.
It's a
Hey, I know things. This
But,
movie, I think, is outside of our back to school month. This is the first G-rated movie we've ever done.
Okay.
It was fun.
Rated G for gangster.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although, were any of those rated G? I mean, they might have been PG.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This might be our first G-rated movie. No, Midnight Madness. I almost said Meatball Madness. I'm hungry.
Dude, I could go for a whole bucket of meatballs. Is that how they sell them these days?
Yeah, buckets. If you go to that bucket of spaghetti
Bucket of
place, you could
spaghetti,
probably
hold
just
the
order
spaghetti.
a bucket of meatballs.
yeah, you can get 2 meatballs for $5.
How much for a bucket?
Yeah.
Is there a bulk discount?
I'm going to make you meatballs.
I'm gonna eat them meatballs. You're gonna see it. I'm gonna go to town on these things like a madman.
And
Speaking of-
Midori's going to be like, them some damn good meatballs.
I mean, I'm gonna Hasselhoff those meatballs in front of my fireplace.
Can I be there?
Yeah, I'll live stream it.
Speaking of being a madman, this movie, Watch Out, We're Mad. So it's a little long.
Yeah.
It's 102 minutes. And I was thinking 1978 Italian action comedy. It's got to be like 80 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And at one point I was like, we paused it and I was like, how are there 40 minutes
40
left?
minutes.
I mean, it didn't drag or anything. But,
No, but 80 would have felt better, I think.
Yeah. Although we would have had to, what would they have done? Just cut the story out from in between the very extended, very well choreographed, quote, action scenes. Marcello Fondato
What'd you call me?
is the director of this picture. He directed a bunch of other shit, but I didn't recognize any of it. It's all Italian movies.
I doubt I would.
Yeah. So real quick, we'll just touch on Italian cinema in the 70s.
Yeah, hit me with some things.
Just some stuff. If anybody does watch this, it's gonna look weird because none of it was recorded with audio. So everything is ADR'd afterwards.
Now, this is something I didn't know until I started watching more things with you and being on this podcast. That was a very common Italian practice.
Yeah. I mean, in a lot of places. I mean, Hong Kong Pictures do it a lot. A lot of less expensive cinema because you're not carrying around audio equipment. You don't have to worry about microphones or anything, really.
And this is also why they could crank out spaghetti westerns like a fucking bucket of meatballs.
Yes.
But you can tell when these guys are talking, and I'm pretty sure it is Bud Spencer and Terence Hill doing their own ADR, but it doesn't quite, even if it's great, it just doesn't sound right. It sounds like a dude in a booth.
It does.
It's like it's like they made the movie and then they're just doing the like Robin Williams at the beginning of Mrs. Doubtfire.
The inflection is no, please no. The inflection is also off a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and so especially if there's supposed to be like a motion or something, or if there's like a reaction, something like a grunt, it's just like,
Neither of them are voice actors, so you got these physical actors in a booth trying to throw something out. I want to derail it quick though. ADR. What did you think it was? Because I'm not making fun of you. I have a different one that's wrong.
After death recording.
I always thought it was additional dialogue recorded.
Okay.
And then so when Derek said what it was, like, yeah, that's what I knew the whole time.
Yours makes more sense than automatic.
Automatic dialogue replacement.
Automatic dialogue replacement. It's not automatic. You have to have somebody do it. It's
exactly.
You know what, guys? Let's Google this.
All right.
I hope it's mine, which I already forgot what it was.
I hope it's mine.
Dialogue recorded. There's no way it's yours, dude. I'll butt chug this beer if you're right.
Well, that's not right.
Uh-oh.
The first thing I got was from the U.S. Department of Labor. So I'm like, that's not what we're looking for. Alternative dispute resolution.
Yeah, that sounds about right for an Italian movie.
That's all I'm getting. I have to add.
Movie.
Oh, there we go. Movies. Automated dialogue replacement.
That's
Okay.
much
automatic.
better.
It's still automated, automatic. What's the difference?
A lot.
So this movie does star, as I mentioned, a comedy duo of sorts that were in a lot of Italian comedy movies together. Terence Hill playing the kid and Bud Spencer playing Ben.
We got to get an elephant out of the room here. Terence Hill is dreamy.
Yes.
I mean,
my God.
He's got like Paul Walker's Baby Blues with a Rob Lowe fucking chiseled face. Like, it is awesome.
Yeah, I got very Steve McQueen vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had said that at one point watching.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, that is Steve McQueen.
And I don't know why Bud Spencer seems so familiar. I couldn't think of an actor to compare him to. I don't know, Dom DeLuise.
Yeah, Dom DeLuise. Much more serious, but also Bluto.
Yeah.
From the cartoon.
Is it Bluto or Pluto?
Bluto?
It is Bluto,
Yeah.
like from Labyrinth. Bluto.
Yeah, with a B.
Yeah. As in boy.
But as in, that's a joke we'll get to later.
So we've got Terence Hill driving around in this bus /RV. I don't know what this thing is.
It's almost like a toy hauler.
Yeah, it's
I was going to
like,
say, it's all encompassing.
yeah,
Yeah.
because he keeps a motorcycle in there later.
And when I
or
say
dirt
all
bike.
encompassing, he's got a fucking espresso machine riding shotgun.
Yep.
He is going down the freeway,
A quarter-
and this thing
Coin
is just
operated.
this thing is just rocking back and forth, and he is pouring piping hot espresso out of this machine.
Oh yeah.
Little Dixie cups.
Hey, I respect the risk.
You would. That is what you need in Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Anybody out
Not
there listening
coin-operated, though.
knows how to put an espresso in the fucking van? Let me know.
I don't know if Exhibit listens.
Do they still do that?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
maybe in Italy, the Pimpa Marad. The van is too big. You got to smell a car.
Hey, I'm Exhibit. You got to pimp my ride.
I guess-
We kept it all the same. We put a bucket of meatball in the front seat.
So, like, apparently they would change the stories for the drama, obviously.
Oh, of course.
Like, there was that one fat kid who didn't have a messy car at all, but they, like, put in a shit ton of candy wrappers and just food trash in his car to
I'll
make
bet
it
he
look
loved
like
that.
he was a slob.
Hey,
Oh,
look at you!
yes.
Look at you, fat boy.
Yeah, we're gonna fat shame you real quick. Is that okay
Yeah.
with you? We're doing it anyway.
Is that okay with you? Actually, I really wouldn't prefer if you didn't. Well, we're gonna put a Star Wars poster in the back and an empty sausage package in the front.
He just grabs them. Hey man, X gonna give it to you.
Oh.
Listen here, X gonna give it to you.
Look, you want the car pimped or not? Because X gonna give it to you.
Do you think they even like their cars after?
No, they all
No.
pieces of shit that fell apart. Yeah, you think so? How do I get these fish out of my turn signal? Now that the show's over, my exhaust is still shitting bubbles.
Hey, we put a 78-inch TV in your trunk, dog.
I no longer need my Chevy S10 to mow lawns. Can we change this?
The only time I was ever envious of anybody on that show, which I did watch way too much, because I didn't have any. There was no such thing as streaming at that point.
You were in high school.
So it was watch what's on TV.
Yeah, you're at the mercy of the
And
garbage.
my options in high school were Comedy Central, MTV, and VH1. And guess what? I wasn't watching most of the time.
You'd already seen Half Baked, so you're not going to watch it on Comedy Central over and over.
I've already seen Half Baked and Bordello of Blood. I'm not watching Comedy Central anymore.
VH1 did have pop-up video.
Oh, I love me some.
Yeah, but pop-up
Yes.
video, by the time I was in high school, pop-up video was like before school, not in the afternoon.
Oh.
It was so passe.
It was 6 a.m. So like in the afternoon, VH1 was just playing fucking Surreal Life with Vanilla Ice and China and Bridget Nielsen
Didn't
or whatever her name
VH1
was.
at Comedy-
Brigitte
Get it?
Nelson, right?
Right.
Was it Nielsen?
Didn't VH1 and Comedy Central share a channel? Like it was VH1 up until like 6 p.m. and then it was. Did you have cable?
Not often. We were.
I don't know, but they're all
Oh.
owned by MTV.
We had a black box.
We rented Blockbuster VHSs and recorded them. That's what we did.
I love that.
Speaking of cable channels, these guys want a dune buggy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't
So
wanna
Terence
breeze over
Hill,
it much because it was
This
a
rally-
fucking rally was to die for.
that's what Terence Hill sees it while he's driving around, and then we have Bud Spencer,
Who's falling in love
who
with
is also sees it, and he's just sitting in it pretending to drive it, and the dealer comes over
he's
and
making,
he's just
making
making
mouth noises.
But yeah, it's a really sweet little like red dune buggy with a yellow tarp, as they
It's
say.
a tarp,
Just
not a
if
top.
you want to know what it looks like, Google a Volkswagen Tub, TUB, or what was there was a speed buggy.
Yeah, a speed buggy, like the cartoon.
No, the cartoon speed buggy. Yeah. So that, if you want to know what it looks like, that's exactly what it is.
Okay.
It's a big
Is
old
that the talking
fiberglass
buggy?
body. Yeah.
All right. See, I know. what you're
Sometimes
talking about.
sputter.
Yeah, that guy.
So they apparently do this. I wrote down demolition derby race, but it's a rally race. I
It
guess.
is a rally
I think
race.
of rally. I think of like when they're going around the edges
there's-
of the things where they're going to fall off and die.
We are
and-
probably calling it a rally incorrectly. They are rally cars and they're doing stuff like that, but it's definitely on a track.
It's a dirt
instead of-
track.
Well, we know of rally is like through the fucking country, over
Yeah,
But
the
exactly.
hills.
it is
to
through. It's
grandmother's
a track
house.
through a country.
Yeah,
like
it's
there's a
pretty
bridge
toit.
that they need to go through. There's some woods or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I'm
just
in the
think it's a
desert.
little bit more structured. Structure's not the right
But also,
word.
these guys are fucking rocking each other. In
Yeah.
this race.
Yeah,
Like,
they
that's
are.
why I wrote demolition derby. These people.
There's-
There's a point where there's a bridge, and I think it's Bud Spencer is driving through the bridge, and there's two cars next to each other, which is terrible because this bridge is barely wide enough for one.
Oh yeah,
And he just shoves these dudes off into the water.
Yes, he does.
and the kid just goes right over it.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he
Ramps.
he has the magic ability to make any vehicle he's in jump over things that nobody else can.
I mean, I knew at this point I was gonna have fun with this movie. Whether it was
Yeah.
gonna be good or not, couldn't tell you.
Well,
at
and
this
you even
point.
made a comment early on, like, we're going to have to find a way to make fun of a movie that's just a car race because this scene is like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
How's
it
your
is.
impersonation of a Mazda?
I don't know. Can I do a lawnmower? Meh.
Similar.
There's another scene where like one car somehow gets in reverse and is smashed between two cars going forward, and they're just like driving down.
And you think that'd be odd until there's a car on top of another car, and he says like, "Floor, there's only one lap to go. Take me with you."
Yeah, and it's, of course, being 1974, this is all real cars doing real shit. This
Oh,
is
I
This is
loved
car
it.
pranks, man.
Yeah, these guys, like, these are
They were
a lot
having
of
fun.
stunt drivers who hopefully made a few, what is it, lira?
Yeah, I think it'd be Lyra.
I
Well, I don't know because we're in California.
Well, no.
We're
well,
taking place in California unless there's another San Diego in Europe.
He does say Cafe San Diego or something, but all the signs are in Italian.
Absolutely. Every word in this movie.
I don't know
is
where this
Italian.
movie takes place. I know where it was made. It was made in Italy.
But I'm just like when they were talking. We'll get to why, but they were talking about different cities, and they were all California cities.
Okay.
So that's just my process. But again, everything's in Italian in the background.
Even this garage is like
Yeah.
something de Ben.
Uh-huh.
they could have been trying to pass it off as Spanish, because hey muchachos.
Yeah, you could have because this
Yeah, this
mechanic,
guy
though-
Jeremiah, by
Yeah.
the way,
Jeremiah.
keeps
Wait, no,
saying
sorry.
muchacho.
Yeah, not Jeremiah. Jeremiah. He is he's giving a full just Spaniard accent. Not looking like it though.
No.
And apparently this race is for the dune buggy, which was not introduced until the end of the race. And these two get to the end, and they both jump out, and they have to run to the dune buggy,
Because
and they touch it at the same
tied the
time.
finish line with their cars perfectly. So I
Yeah.
think they're like, well, without saying anything, first one to touch it.
Yeah.
So they pull a Talladega Nights, and they race on foot, and they both smack that fucking dune buggy at the same time. It's a tie. Don't you like my California accent?
Yes, sir.
I like to surf a lot.
Si, senor.
And then we get the first instance of, I think 5 I counted, of the Dune Buggy song by Oliver Onions.
It starts off as a phenomenal song.
They're taking the Dune Buggy back on like a trailer, and Bud Spencer is riding in it, honking and having a good old time.
He's having a gay old time.
He's shifting. He's doing everything, man.
Terence Hill's following behind very closely because he doesn't want to lose his Dune Buggy. And they decide that they have to do contests to figure out who gets the Dune Buggy.
So the kid suggests a high card.
Well, first,
Ace wins all.
oh yeah, the high card, and then they end up doing the stick ball or whatever the fuck's going
Well,
on.
because
Stick rock.
after the high card, it was arm wrestle.
Oh, that's right, because they go through the same
I
thing
was
at
like,
the
I'm
end.
not fucking arm. You are
Yeah,
huge.
I'm not gonna arm wrestle you, giant man.
Yeah. It'd be like Usain Bolt, like you want to sprint forward. Like,
Who do I
no.
look like? Sylvester Stallone?
He
But
pulls
then,
that
yeah.
Italian hat backwards.
It looks the same.
And then who said stickball?
Me.
Derek said stick ball, except for there's no ball.
It's
Stick
a,
rock.
It's
yeah.
a
Stick
weird
rock.
It's a weird rock. It's almost
It looks like a
prism.
quartz.
Yeah.
I've dated chicks that have charged these before.
Yeah. Okay. And one knocks the N off
Yeah, off the
or
sign.
down. And then the other one knocks it back into place.
Which
And
it's a
they're
fun
"Oh,
little
shit."
like, here's the shot in reverse.
Yeah, exactly. And also in this time frame, Bud Spencer goes out while Terence Hill is in his trailer or whatever, and he takes off a wheel and anchors the fucking axle to the ground. He's like, I don't want you taking off with
A little
my car.
overkill if you ask me. I mean, one or the other is fine.
You're not going anywhere, and you're especially not going anywhere.
And then
Where
locks
you
the
going
key up.
nowhere. Yeah, which is exactly what he said. He's like, I had a dream that you took the key, put it in a lockbox, and put it in a locker and locked it up. And that's what
As
he was
he's
doing.
it.
And then, so they decide on a beer and hot dog contest.
Oh boy. Which also again looks like this big guy is like, I think you said it, like you're gonna challenge him to a hot dog eating contest?
Yeah, a beer and hot dog contest. That's what this guy lives on. And these are not hot dogs, by the
No.
way.
Reason
These
number
are ginormous
36.
Viennas.
Reason number 36, we know this is in fucking California.
Dude, these hot dogs, I mean, if this was like when you go into like a gas station, they're like, huge quarter-pound hot dogs. This is what I picture. It's not what you get.
No.
Right?
These things are, I mean, no less than 2 inches in diameter.
And also no bun.
Nope.
Yeah, they just have little like swords through them, like little cocktail swords.
Drinking
Like I
these
said,
giant fucking beers.
A Vienna sausage times 20.
Yeah.
And also, this
It's a San
bartender,
Diego sausage.
These are pound wieners. Can I just say, every food in this movie is phallic.
Oh yeah.
You have these giant wieners. You have fat carrots. You
The
have
fattest.
some weird ass breadsticks.
I thought this was just Whitney having dick on the mind, and then I was like, man, now I can't unsee it. There's penis everywhere.
Everywhere.
bananas.
Can
Bananas?
somebody get like a fucking slice of cake?
No.
Oh, don't cut it like that.
You can get a tube of cake. You want a cannoli?
Somebody who's Italian is listening right now, screaming at their phone, going, "A cannoli is not a tube of cake,
Oh.
you psychopath!"
No, I wasn't saying.
I think we
I know,
lost
I
him when
know.
I did an impersonation of an Italian guy. We lost him pretty early.
Well, if you're offended by Italian impersonations,
Buckle up.
we've already got their download. They can turn it off. It's fine. But this bartender needs to be fired because
Oh.
he pours a beer on
These
camera,
pints
and
are-
there is like an ounce of liquid, and the rest of this mug is just filled with foam. Now I
They just
know
they just changed the keg.
But you know who else is guilty of this? is Cheers.
Hillary Clinton.
When you
You saw that picture, right? Or that
Wendy.
video?
no.
Back when she was running for president against everybody's favorite, she went
the best
bartender. She went to some bar or brewery or something, and it was like a photo op thing. So she goes to pour a beer, and like somebody pours one right in front of her, and it's a great beer. And then she poured one; it looked exactly
So
like this.
it was even like primed and ready to go. You didn't get the first. Pour
Yeah,
of
no,
the
it's a
day.
cold tap and everything. Like,
But anyway, no. Cheers, like being remastered or released in HD. When you watch some of those scenes, I'm sure it didn't register on our small fucking TV back then. But now you look like that is 75% head.
I remember seeing like half head, half
Yeah.
beer.
well, then when they cut away and cut back, this guy's
It's
beer
a
is a
full-
full beer,
Yep.
and it's much darker too. It seems
It's like your
Foam is beer. Foam is beer.
It will be.
Foam is beer. You sound like a fucking guy who owns a strip club. Foam is beer. Don't pour that down the drain.
So there was a truck used to work at a place
We won't mention.
that that was what he was told all the time. Foam is beer.
I heard a joke when I started working in the beer industry from a bar or brewery owner, and it's like, hey, you know what that little bit of foam at the top of the beer is called? Profit.
That's pretty good.
But yeah, so then while they're drinking beers and eating massive amounts of
The
sausages,
kid is taking these fucking dogs to the face.
he is
Yes,
housing
he
these
is.
things.
Like, I'm impressed. Joey Chestnut, get out
Well,
of here.
and Bud Spencer even says at some point, he's like, you ever heard the story of the tortoise and the hare? Sorry, I'm doing it wrong. You ever heard the story of the tortoise and the hare?
I mean, that is right where he's at this whole time with facial features and everything.
He is
His
the
eyes are
tortoise.
always almost closed, and he never
Until
opens
he's
his
rolling
mouth.
them.
Yeah. Well, even when he's rolling it, like he rolls them and you can see it move, but his eyes are still like he's like trying to keep them closed. I don't know why I'm acting it out for us.
I like the pantomimes.
But as they're sitting there, all of a sudden some mafia something guys come walking
Sure.
in and just start smashing this bar to pieces. And these two have no reaction to it. They're just chilling, eating sausages or whatever.
Big Man even moves over at one point, and I think I was like, how did he know that chair was going to fly there? And Whitney had said, oh, he saw it in the mirror. Turns out, a running thing. He hates cigars.
Yes.
Yeah, guy next to him smoking a cigar, so he moved away from it.
But then as soon as he moved, big old fucking chair came in and smashed the...
Although
Exactly.
that's very convenient because most of the time he's just snatching these cigars out of people's mouths.
Yeah.
But there's a big bar fight or something. It looked like a bar fight at first, but then eventually it's just guys with like fedoras just using axes and hammers and baseball bats
They're
to smash
Did
this
you
They're
not-
place.
splatting stuff.
It's Clockwork Orange in in Italy.
I mean, somebody didn't
Clockwork
pay...
Orange.
It's a Clockwork Orange.
You know, if we do that
somebody
accent
didn't-
too many times, we're all growing big mustaches.
Yes, I will grow a big
As long
mustache.
as it doesn't touch my hairline. But yeah, they're all. I mean, somebody missed protection money here, and
Yeah.
they're really paying for it.
Well, I think it
Well,
turns out Big Baby
yeah.
fucking
Baba-
Bonaducci or whatever.
big baby Bonaducci.
He was
He
like,
just wants to be evil, right?
well, he's trying to be evil, but his plan is to run everything out of there so he can build a giant skyscraper just for him.
That's the fucking master plan. That's
Yep.
like the evil James Bond plan. I want a big skyscraper right up the middle there. Get rid of the Ferris wheel.
But
no
when-
mob boss has ever sounded like that.
When
No.
they're trying, that's not true. You've seen what, like Lock, Stock, and Snatch, right? Like,
Right, but he's just a little bit calmer than that one. This guy's doing Pinky from Pinky and the Brain.
I was waiting for him to hit someone with a dildo. Is all I'm saying,
Nope, he has a thing for forks.
or at least a carrot, maybe a sausage. He's just beating someone to death with a hot
So
dog.
let's get to his right hand man. Speaking of carrots,
Well, real quick
Nine.
though, before we get to my biggest surprise of this movie, we do have to talk about how the Doom Buggy exits the movie.
oh
yeah.
yes.
So
we
there's
do.
these guys are stopping anybody who's trying to drive away, and they're like, "Oh, get out of the car, or I'll splat you," which is great.
Dude,
Splat you.
yeah. And they have an interaction with this guy. He's like, but why? Because I'm supposed to splat anybody that doesn't get out of the car. That doesn't sound like a very good answer. Oh, come on, get out or I'll splat you.
What if we don't get out of the car? Well, then I'll splat the car. Oh, by the way, these guys are leaving. They just had like 11 beers, and they're just like, let's drive over to this place.
Oh yeah. And this is where they get this is where they're talking about California cities because they're trying to figure
I
out
guess if
another
you got
place to
pulled
go.
over back then, it was just like, hey, don't do that. Go straight home.
Hey, you white? All right.
All right, go straight home. Don't stop and get more beer.
They mention one place, and he says, the hot dogs are no good. How about this place?
The beer's too warm.
Beer's too warm. Then they Goldilocks. They find a bar they both agree on.
Yep.
And they become best friends in a couple minutes.
They try to drive away, and one of them gets hit by one of these fucking boat cars that these dudes are driving around, these mafia guys.
Dude, the film is a Matchbox car on its
It
side.
is.
Yeah, it gets knocked over and immediately catches on fire. And they're just sitting there. Like, they weren't in the car anymore. They're just sitting off to the side looking sad.
Yeah.
It kind of looked like they were thrown out of the car, so they're just sitting where they fell out.
Yeah, that's probably it. Because later it happens with somebody
Yeah.
else. And yeah.
So then we meet Big Baby Bonaducci or whatever.
Big Baby Bonaducci.
I had to give him an Italian name, but he's not Italian.
No.
He's Cockney.
He's the least Italian in this
This
movie.
is the weirdest accent I've ever heard, like for British. It's not a good normal British accent. It's awful.
I'm like, is this an Italian guy trying to do British? Is this an American trying to do Italian, doing British? Like,
It's the least intimidating thing ever. Like,
Well,
I'm
he
gonna
looks
get
the
ya.
least intimidating.
you come to me on this, the day of my daughter's wedding, asking for a favour, isn't it? May she be born with a masculine child.
All right,
Godfathers.
governor. Let me sit here with my bubblegum pajamas.
Oh, dude, these pajamas.
yeah, it's got like little like. It looks like gummy bears or something on the pajamas.
Polka dots.
But he had like little bears on the first pair, and
They're
he's
bears
wearing more
holding
than
balloons.
Oh, okay.
But he's
Even
played.
better.
He's an actor that the whole time I was like, why do I know this guy? So at the end,
Was it from your nightmares?
no,
Yes, mine.
But I looked him up on IMDb, and he's played by a guy named John Sharp, who was in The Wicker.
Doesn't sound sharp.
He was in The Wicker Man, the original British one, and he was in Barry Lyndon, which is a Stanley Kubrick film. So that has to be where I recognize him from.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it and go, "Oh, that guy from The Wicker Man."
I thumbed through it, but I didn't recognize it because this voice is almost like Looney Tunes, or like I had referenced Pinky the Brain.
Yeah.
it's that comical.
The Brain. Sorry, Pinky's a little bit more intimidating too, but the Brain is more menacing
Yes.
than this guy.
And all he wants to be is Evo.
How did he get this many people to follow him? Money goes so far. But after a while, you got to be a bad boss. Like, you got to be a bad
He
motherfucker.
stabbed them with the fork.
Yeah, okay. All you got to do is run from this guy. He ain't getting you.
No, he's not.
And then we have his sidekick assistant guy who is like his psychiatrist.
They're
Apparently,
scared of the Nazi guy.
That's
Who wouldn't be?
This Nazi doctor played by none other than Donald Pleasance, which is insane. I don't know why the fuck Donald Pleasance is in this movie. I guess this is pre-Halloween.
It's
so.
it's like 1974. The first Halloween's what, 80?
78.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Closer than I thought.
I think 78, maybe 76.
I remember
Pretty
it
sure
was in
it's
the
78.
70s.
Yeah, because it's one of the earlier slasher movies. It's before the Jasons and
Gotcha.
the Freddys and the whatnot.
But yeah, he's got this whole thing about, because Baby Huey's like, I'm evil. And he's like, no, you're not evil. You're not evil yet. You are getting there, but you are just a meanie right now.
He does say something about, I'm so bad, I even give myself the creepy booze.
Look, I'm going to twip this waiter.
Mob bosses don't give themselves creepy booze.
And yeah, he does trip a waiter, and that's when the Nazi hears
Like creepy booze?
Dr.
Like,
Loomis.
like scary alcohol?
yeah,
guess.
creepy
Ooh.
booze.
That's Rumpelman's. I'm terrified of that.
No, it's
Creepy booze
Fernet.
would be like the Kraken, right? Because it's black. So
Yeah.
It's scary.
I don't know, man. I'm scared anytime I hear the word Rumpelman.
Rumple Stiltskin. Oh, okay.
You say it 3 times in the mirror, you got minty breath and you're hungover.
Speaking of Nazis, on my 21st birthday, someone bought me a shot, and they called it a screaming Nazi.
Ooh, I did
And
not
it's-
see that coming.
And it's Rumpelmints,
Gotta have Jaeger.
Goldschlager,
Gotta have Jaeger.
and Jaeger, I believe. It's
Yeah.
all those three
Oh.
mixed together. And somebody bought it for me. He was like, you have to drink it. It's your 21st birthday. And I was like, no, I don't.
Yeah. Oh, see, when I was 21, I would have given in. Now that in my 40s, I'm like, I don't do anything I don't want to do at a bar.
Let me follow this up by saying that the stop before this, I was sitting at it was like a tiki bar that we have here in town.
Oh,
And I
love that bar.
I had my drink and I was drinking it while I was playing my Nintendo DS on my 21st birthday at the bar.
Whoa, Derek, save some pussy for the rest of us.
So someone saying you have to drink this screaming Nazi at the biker bar that we went to next didn't do it for me. But yeah, so he trips this waiter and makes him spill all his glasses. He's like, "See, that was Evo." And that's when he's
It's not.
These infantile pranks give you false delusions of power. You must be truly evil to get real delusions of power."
I want Mike Myers playing this character.
And then he
Wait, like from Halloween or
No, I just want his dialogue. Not that one.
and
There's
then he
no
goes
dialogue.
and trips another waiter.
Yeah. Well, that's the same waiter, and then Donald Pleasance trips him as he's trying to take the broken glasses out of the room.
And that's when the waiter gets really pissed off, and then Mr. Baby Pants is like, "It's fine. It was I'm sorry. Do the Cockney."
It's fine. It was an accident.
Oh, and Donald Pleasance hides behind him, too.
Yeah, he does.
Because this waiter comes at him with this metal fucking serving tray. He's gonna
You know
beat
what?
the
This is
shit
a
out
pair
of
of
this guy.
testicles, and there's always one bigger than the other.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, this case, this guy should see a doctor because one of these testicles is much bigger than the other.
Herniated.
Your testicles seem to be from 2 different parts of Europe.
So then we go to the circus or this carnival or whatever the fuck
It's
this
a
is.
backyard circus. Let's call it what it is, man.
It's those little like parking lot things that we get here
A
sometimes.
carnival.
And this is the first time we go to the carnival and we get the Dune Buggy song again. And Terence
it's
Hill
starting to wear on me
basically
already.
falls in love with this really weird looking circus girl.
Yeah, she's got all the bad parts of Goldie Hawn.
Well, and also like the way her eyes are set up, it's kind of like I don't know, like a flounder.
It's just
The bad parts of
makeup.
Goldie Hawn.
Like her one eye is right above her right ear, the other eye is right above her left ear.
Will you stand to my side? Otherwise, I can't see you.
Oh, what's that fish guy from Hellboy? Kind of like that.
Oh, Abe Sapien.
No, his eyes were more centered.
I'm
But
thinking just like
he's-
a hammerhead.
Is this a trapeze part or tightrope part?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's not even a
She's on like this
tall
balance beam
tightrope. It's
thing.
closer to slack line,
She's
but it is
like-
tightrope.
She's like 4 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Terence Hill sets her up to break her neck by kicking like the wedge out from underneath it.
Well, he does it in a really cool way. He like kicks
it's
it
really
out just
cool.
enough.
Yeah, it's
and
really
then,
cool to almost murder someone.
And then walks to the other end and kicks a rock to it right as he's there to catch her.
This is like the
Yeah.
ultimate in negging.
I mean, if this movie was trying to worry about plot or anything like character development, it's showing us that he's a badass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I can kick this rock and make her fall.
You know
right
what? I
here
already
into my
knew that.
arms.
I saw his eyes.
Yeah, I got lost in those things.
Yes,
man.
I
The fucking
did.
map.
But she falls off and he catches her, and they give
you
each other
fall and you
fuck
fell.
me eyes, and then that's kind of the end of that.
Yeah, he fucked her with his eyes.
And we go back to the garage, and Bud Spencer is there practicing this fucking song that will never leave my soul.
Ba 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 ba.
Yeah, he's just ba 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 ba.
It
like
does
whatever
lead
it is.
to a funny part, though.
It does, but he's like really intent on looking at this music sheet and practicing, and he's just doing the same fucking frame over
Yeah.
or refrain, whatever,
It's
over
three
and
tone-
over
it's
and
three
over.
tones of ba ba ba.
Yeah.
over and over.
But in
But
different. It's
different
different
scales.
Different scales.
There is a really funny thing though. Terence Hill comes in talking about how he doesn't like bullies and the people who destroyed their buggy are bullies, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But he keeps tripping over shit, and he knocks over the music stand and he sets it back up. And Bud Spencer looks at it and just like because the music is backwards.
He turned into Bobcat Goldthwait, dude.
Yes, he
He
did.
kind of did.
Kind of did.
I'm singing, guys.
But it was really funny because like he turned it around and started singing normal. Like, oh my god, it was backwards, and he was reading it backwards. Like it was fucking funny.
He's literally like an instrument. You're a computer. He just reads what you give him, man.
You can't put that in teleprompter. He reads everything on a teleprompter. Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Thank you, Bruce.
San Diego, the whale's vagina.
Scholars maintain it's been lost.
Find the man in the boat.
So Terence Hill says he's going to get the buggy back, and Bud Spencer wants no part of it. Which, by the way, who's going to get the buggy back?
Uh-huh. They say that, and he even does say, he's like, the guys that destroyed it, he's like, yeah. So he knows, but just, I think it's a translation thing.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, I'm going to go get another buggy turned into, I'm going to go get our buggy back.
Yeah.
Because it makes zero sense. But there's one guy who does not grasp the dune buggy aspect of
No,
the,
it's a boonduggy.
dude, every time Jeremiah says it, it's boonduggy.
But it's only when he says it, and it's not that Jeremiah is saying it wrong. It's that
The ADR.
the ADR is getting it
which
wrong.
could be
No,
Jeremiah's
I
actor.
think I'm pretty sure that was intentional because it's since it happens every time. The guy's just like, because he's like the little kind of weird bumbling dude that works with them.
Oh, and it might
so he's
be-
like, oh, it's the boonduggy. He's
it
not
might
British,
be right
I don't know.
here, and it might be later, but it doesn't matter. But he says, that boondoggie you wanted was red with a yellow top, right? And he rolls out whatever the equivalent of like an Italian Model T would be.
Oh my God, it was beautiful.
It's awesome. It's beautiful, but he painted it red with a yellow top. And
Bud Spencer doesn't want it, so now he can't sell it because it's red with a yellow top.
Yeah, I'll fucking buy it. Me or Ronald McDonald.
Yep.
That's later in the movie, but yes, it's kind of hard to tell because there's basically the garage, the carnival, the restaurant, or whatever the mafia guy's home base is, and then like the race and like the car, the motorcycle chase, whatever. Like
outside
the chase
of
scenes,
the chases, there is like I think you mentioned all 4 fucking sets.
Yeah,
the chase scene I think is still where the rally was.
Yeah, just in the trees instead of on a track.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, makes sense. But yeah, it just showing Jeremiah's he's fumbly, he's bumbly, but he's cute and he's trying.
He's just a cute, toothless old man.
Yeah.
And then Terence Hill tells Bud Spencer, "I know who destroyed the Doom Buggy. He's a very, very mean man." Cut to Italian dance party.
Italian dance park.
Ooh. Oh.
Well, this is in the restaurant still.
The courtyard is in the park, I think. I don't know, man.
These women, bring this fashion back. How many
yeah.
amazing dresses did we see?
Dresses and butts.
Ugh.
And just the dancing was fantastic. The men are dressed like absolute morons, and I can't wait for that to come back.
But there was one girl that I could not stop watching. She
green
was
dress?
green dress, and her hair was done, and it was in a braid, but it was a bow.
Mm-hmm. It's like the Italian Medusa. I guess Medusa was too.
Beautiful.
Was Medusa an Italian Medusa?
No, she was Greek.
She's Greek.
Oh, I think it's a Roman thing. Okay, yeah, it's Greek. All right, she's just a hairier version.
I mean, the Romans, the Greeks, they had the same basic mythology.
Well, the Romans stole it. That's what they do. Then they found Jesus and like, we don't believe in that. Kill everybody that believes in that.
So then Jesus won, and then Christianity stole everything. They took over for the Romans. Wait, they're still Roman.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends. If you're Roman Catholic, you're Roman.
You Catholic.
Recovering Catholics,
you
thank
could be
you.
Russian Orthodox.
That's
not Roman.
I couldn't be.
I was saying something
got the
about
Kavorka.
Catholicism.
Yeah.
That's where that was trying to come from.
It doesn't matter. It stole everything.
Sorry.
Anyway,
It's a fun story. I mean, so's the Hulk.
Is it?
Hey, you know what? Putting a dead tree in the corpse of a tree in your house and decorating it with shiny things doesn't sound very Christian to me. It sounds more pagan. But
This
hey,
is probably why I
pagan.
have
I know it
bondage
is.
issues, dude. I grew up with that dude fucking strapped to the cross, looking all chiseled as shit, wearing nothing but a little G-string, baby.
all the women looking at him and being like, "Oh."
Like, yeah, just every time a girl saw
I mean,
him,
they were
got on their
crying,
knees.
but you know.
They got in their knees for that man in bondage, and now I want to be strung up. I digress.
Amber.
She couldn't
So
lift
during
me.
this dance party, there's also an extra that I have to point out because I pointed it out to you guys, and we didn't really get to see it because when I rewound it, the stream
Yeah.
wouldn't buffer. There's a guy dancing around here, and I swear to God, it's Martin Short.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not, but yeah.
It's definitely not, but it might
He
be.
looks more like
What's the-
who's the British rich boy who acted like a child? They did a remake with
all of them.
Dudley Moore.
Thank you.
Talk about
wrong.
Arthur.
He looked more like
Yeah.
him.
I see Martin Short, but he danced like Martin Short's characters at Ed Grimley.
Yeah.
I must say.
So
I'm old.
Terence Hill and Bud Spencer
I'm older than
after dancing with the ladies, they magically appear upstairs. Like this guy, this tough, the beat 'em up guy. That's kind of his
Number one beat 'em up guy, I would say.
Yeah, his right hand man or his left hand
Left-hand
man,
man.
because Donald Pleasance is his right hand man.
So it's a fun thing. They keep switching partners and then getting him trapped in the dancing.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a big Congo line around him. He comes upstairs like, "Hey, boss, those 2 guys that we blew up their buggy were trying to sneak in," and boom, they're right there.
Yeah, and they're talking to the Big Baby guy. And Big Baby is smoking a cigar. By the way, the credits say his name is the boss. So
No.
I like Big Baby better.
No,
Yeah,
big baby,
Big Baby.
big baby, better baby.
He pulls a cigar. Bud Spencer pulls a cigar out of his mouth, and everybody's like,
And he puts it in it. He's like,
You're gonna get a fork in your hand for that one?
I'm going to fork the shit out of you.
Oh, fuck me.
and Big Baby doesn't do it.
Nah,
No, he's afraid of Bud Spencer. I would be.
am.
He's a big dude.
I'm not gonna
I'll take
sleep
him
tonight.
into the bedroom. He'll
Big
be
Baby
afraid of
is a
me.
big dude. Whoa, calm down.
You are.
Keep it in
you
your
are-
pants.
you
I guess
bud.
I'm kind of like Bud Spencer, but I'm not tough and I can't drive well.
Oh, you'd eat hot dogs much faster than him.
I'll do the driving, and I'm the tough bitch.
I get house hot dogs and beers all day, though.
Yeah, but I'll kick all the asses. You've had to take me out of how many bar fights now?
Bud Spencer is a big dude. Big Baby's a big dude, but Bud Spencer's a scary big dude.
Yes.
Big Baby's a big baby.
Big baby is looking like he's trying to do a human cosplay of Humpty Dumpty.
He's in another outfit now that's still like a disturbing outfit.
He gets slightly more adult, but they still are ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like his final outfit is that suit with the. We'll get there. But when he pulls the cigar out of Big Baby's mouth, you get a.
Yep.
Which is pretty great.
Good.
The Foley work in this was fun.
The Foley work on this podcast is on point.
It is on point. Now that we know it's Foley and not Folly.
No, it's Folly. I thought.
This whole podcast is a folly.
Oh, it is Folly. I told you.
So they tell him, we want a new dune buggy and we want it by tomorrow at noon. Otherwise, we'll get mad.
And
He
there's your
said it.
kind of title.
I mean, it's the original title.
That's when you go.
We're counting it.
That's when you go. He said it.
He said it. Judges? Oh, he said it.
He said it.
Look at him. He's cooking us something up.
So they leave and they get in this sweet little like fucking the race car. I guess it's the same one from the beginning, right? That
Yeah.
Bud Spencer
Yeah.
was driving.
With a different
And-
body because it has none of the dents that was put in during your.
He'd been working
Oh,
on
he
it.
rallied.
He's
Yeah.
already like hammered that shit out.
Yeah, he
Gotcha.
buffed it. He buffed out all those dents.
That's amazing Bondo
He
work.
went,
Is that a dent?
no, no.
But they're going to leave, and the main beat 'em up guy here comes out, and it's kind of like he tries to follow them. He doesn't see them standing on either side of the door,
Uh-huh.
and then they
They
go to
kick the
leave.
can to
and
alert him,
Terrence Hill kicks the can. Bud Spencer is like, "Come on, man." Throughout this whole movie, that's kind of the running theme. Is Terrence Hill is like, "Let's antagonize everybody," and Bud Spencer's like, "Bruh."
No, you said it best, Bud Spencer.
That was like 3/4 of his lines in this movie.
Yes.
I
That's
don't
not even an exaggeration, by
And
the
I don't
way.
mind it though. Like we talk about sometimes on this podcast, we talk about people falling asleep. His is not falling asleep. It's purposely subdued.
Yeah.
It's stoic is a better word.
Well, and they're both very subdued because it's supposed to be like,
They're too
we're
cool.
we're too fucking cool.
They're too
man.
cool.
We're
But
just-
even the kid is at least much
He's
more
having
charming.
fun.
Like he's having a fucking blast.
He's
Yeah,
like,
I don't think he ever doesn't smile.
Yeah. And when he does, oh boy.
even when he smiled at Ellen.
Ladies, have Ladies, have a extra set of socks because you're gonna soak them.
You are.
But so they jump in their car and they go to leave because the thug guy is walking toward them. And as they're driving by, Terrence Hill smiles and waves. So this guy grabs this gas pump that's right next to him. And this is back, when you pump the gas and then paid. So he just pulls this, sprays gas all over them and flicks a cigar at him.
See, I
fun
thought he
move.
was pointing at the sign that says no fumar.
Yeah, no, he was waving like, "Hey, buddy."
I thought he was like, hey, look
Yeah,
at that.
because this beat 'em up guy is standing next to the gas pump smoking. And there's a big sign right behind him that says no fumar.
Yeah.
But he flicks the cigar at him, lights
In
this
fairness,
car on
that
fire.
sign might be in California.
Yeah. Lights this car on fire, and these streets are not in California. These little alleyways and shit. This is
100%
Italy.
San Francisco has much larger hills.
I'm almost certain.
They're driving downstairs.
Yeah, they're going through those little alleyways down the stairs that you've seen in a bunch of movies that are in Italy. Or
I mean, this
Yeah.
car could have been an Italian job, dude.
What's?
It could,
I was gonna say,
red-
what was that Marky Mark movie?
Oh, bro,
I
you forgetting
just
my movies
watched a
already?
movie-
It's an Italian job.
Yeah.
Fucking flawless Italian accent. Listen to this. Bobbity boop. Give me a bucket of meatballs. Fuck, I'm hungry.
Irish, Italian. I don't know, man.
Hey, do you got any of those tube of cakes? Got cake in the tube over there?
You're welcome, Amber.
I'm gonna go order a cake tube, bro.
Can I get 3 tubes
Hey,
of cake?
take the gun, leave the cake tubes. Wait, no, it's the other way around.
I
Damn
was
it.
not calling the cannolis tubes of cake.
No,
I
no,
know,
no.
but it's
I
funnier.
love it. That is now on how I refer to it. I'm about to get kicked out of so many high-end places for asking for tubes of cake.
You get down at like a nice Italian restaurant. You have your meal. You
Oh,
finish
that was
it
a
up.
great bouillon base. Can
you
I
guys-
follow that up with,
Excuse me, sir. Would you like any dessert?
is that a tube of cake with a little pistachio on it? That's a cannoli. I'll take that tube of cake.
Fuck me.
But yeah, so this is the reason we watch this movie. This car gets lit on fire. These guys are driving through these little like stairwells between these buildings,
Can't
and they don't
stress
give
enough.
a fuck.
Calm
don't
as
care.
cucumbers. Can't stress it enough.
Where's he driving to?
Well, he drives into a car wash.
Driving to the
Real
car
quick.
wash,
Pushes
yeah.
the car in front of him.
I swear to God, I just saw this exact scene without the fire in a movie called The Last Run, starring George C. Scott.
I'll have to take you at your word.
You should watch it. It's good. It's
I don't
very
believe
good.
Wait, she's wrong and she doesn't
you have
believe
one
you?
finger pointing at me and 3 pointing at yourself. So you're saying
You're
You're
wrong.
wrong.
For people that don't know, Derek just pointed all of his fingers and his thumb forward at his wife.
But anyway, because there's a whole scene towards the end where he's driving through these little alleys down these stairs,
Yeah.
and it looked. I mean, I'm sure a lot of these places.
What
look very
era? What
similar.
era is that movie from?
About
you're
this
referencing?
same era.
So yeah.
So yeah.
And we're talking about studios cranking them out, being cheap. You already have a set.
Yeah. It was a
So-
good movie. Anyway, that doesn't matter. But yeah, so he drives it into a car wash, pushing somebody out of the way, and
His biscuits are burning.
and as the car goes out, Terence Hill is like, "Oh, it was dirty, huh?"
I
have the
haven't had time to wash it. Did you have to wave at the bad guy? He's like, I'm being polite.
I feel like that literally is me and Derek in a car though, because I'm definitely the protagonist. Antagonist? What am I?
No, you're antagonizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the protagonist.
I mean, you're the protagonist of your own story.
But you're antagonizing.
So okay.
You're
You don't-
you're an
you can't
instigator.
I don't think
Somebody
you can
asked me that question. What's your favorite protagonist and antagonist?
Oh, I
or
was
whatever.
there
And
at the
I'm
bar with that chick.
Don't
and
talk
she
to
was
me about that.
insane.
and walked away.
She
Yeah.
was a nutter.
And I was like, I'm not answering this. And then they were all talking about it. And then after about 20 minutes, I came over with a piece of paper with my answers on it. I was like, okay, I answered it. Because you guys were talking about it and you're all wrong.
Yeah.
I don't remember what my answers were anymore. But
Yeah,
they were
no,
good.
I'm
when
not
you
saying
left,
mine.
I ended up sitting next to you. Not next to you. I ended up taking your place.
When you
Yeah.
left, I ended up sitting next to
and
you
then I
because
was
got
like,
the fuck out
this
too.
bitch.
Yeah.
Don't talk to me. You're not my best friend.
About 11 years ago, I would have been attracted to her personality.
Yeah, well,
Like,
she
God,
was,
you're insane. What are you doing later?
Then we go back to the carnival.
Mm-hmm.
So the main beat 'em up guy, super beat 'em up, is going into the carnival, and the first thing we see is him tripping a clown on stilts.
Uh-huh. Because I was like, dude, who the fuck would do? Oh, you're the mafia guy. Yep, carry on.
Keep
carry
going.
on.
And we have a montage of Bud Spencer and Terence Hill following this guy around the carnival.
This is
set
a fun
to
scene.
yet
Trying
again.
to ruin
Definitely.
his double date.
yeah.
Yeah, he's got two women with him. This is
Dressed
set
beautifully.
again to the Dune Buggy song
Uh-huh.
by Oliver Onions.
It's getting worse now. It's starting to get annoying.
No, it was annoying at this point.
I know, but it's getting worse. It's much worse now.
He goes on the bumper cars, and he's like sitting on the back of the bumper car, just slamming into
'Cause
small
he's
children.
too tall to reach
then
the
how
pedals.
Terrence Hill and Bud Spencer. Bud Spencer.
I was gonna
is in
say,
one of these
dude, if
things.
Bud Spencer is
Dude
in
is
this,
6'5",
He's too
340
cool to sit
pounds.
inside
Like,
of it.
get your ass in that fucking bumper car if Bud Spencer did it. All right, pal?
yeah, he's too cool. That's the problem. Or his suit
He didn't
is a
wanna
little too
crease
well
his
tailored.
linen.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
see, so.
Yeah. He's like, I got a nice pleat.
He's like slamming into kids and shit.
He
and
knocks
they-
one. I think you missed it because you were typing, but he knocks one of the kids out of the bumper car.
I didn't see that. That's
and
awesome.
the kid goes flying out. It was. I almost wanted.
1974, Italy was wild.
Let's go watch it again because you would love that scene. What did you think of that scene?
It was hilarious. Kids getting hurt is funny. That's why I follow kids getting hurt on Instagram.
Oh, I could watch a kid fall down all day.
Would you like to watch mine? She's very clumsy.
I know I've seen her walk into that wall right there. Like it was just erected. Like that wall did not exist.
Where'd this come
When
from?
she was looking this direction, there was no wall. And then real quick, poop, wall.
It's like Dutch. He came out of nowhere.
Did she smack her face on it?
Oh yeah, because there's a beer. For people that can't see it, there's a beer sign there, and you heard that head hit that beer sign hard.
It's a tin tacker.
It's a sign for beer.
It is a
it?
sign for beer.
Is it? I don't know. It's behind me. It's not
Legend
there.
Legend
like a
of
beer
Zymer
can.
It doesn't
from
exist
8-Bit
because it's
Brewing
behind
Company.
me.
Oh, rest in pints.
No, 8-Bit still exists.
No, it's a different one now. That's a California one.
No, 8-Bit Aleworks. Sorry. 8-Bit Aleworks is the one in Phoenix.
Gotcha.
As you folks know, we like to have a beer or three while we podcast, and sometimes that leads to a not so pleasant morning after, unless we remember to hydrate, people. That's where Liquid IV comes in. Liquid IV is the #1 powdered hydration brand in America, and it's now available in sugar-free with a proprietary zero sugar solution that has no artificial sweeteners. I love using Liquid IV because it comes in convenient little packets you can take with you, makes me feel rejuvenated and hydrated, and best of all, it actually tastes good. Just one packet of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than just water alone, thanks to the 8 vitamins and nutrients it has, and it has 3 times the electrolytes of those other sports drinks. We love Liquid IV so much that we're offering you, our loyal listeners, a steal of a deal. Get 20% off when you grab your Liquid IV Hydration Multiplier, sugar-free, or any other variant at liquidiv.com and use the code WORSTPEOPLE at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code WORSTPEOPLE at liquidiv.com.
Sharks of the Corn, Virus Shark, Cocaine Shark, Sharktopus? Yeah, those are all real movies. Join me, Steve Coates, as each week I take a comedic look at the bizarre world of sharksploitation cinema on Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast.
Oh my God. So yeah, you saw that kid flying off the bumper car.
And then they end up pulling the little pole off the back of his bumper car.
Bud Spencer manhandles it.
He breaks it like a toothpick.
And everybody just goes straight for this dude like a fucking pack of angry piranhas.
Swarm. I mean, these kids were waiting, dude. There's blood in the water. Half the bone.
And then beat 'em up guy is out trying to get soda out of a Pepsi machine, and it's not working. And Bud Spencer and Terence Hill come walking up, and I immediately was like, "Is he gonna Fonzie this thing?"
And he does with
more
panache.
gusto.
Yeah,
He does an
I like
awesome
panache
thing.
better than gusto.
He does this awesome thing, and he like has this giant buildup, and then just goes
He
boom.
So he winds up one hand. It
it's his
looks
right
like
Oh
hand.
yeah. That's what.
Yeah,
it
it looks
is.
like he fucking right hook.
He Ed O'Neill's that right hand. He's like
stretching
warming
them
it up,
fingers.
and then he just bam with his left hand, and like
Hey.
60 fucking sodas shoot
Yep.
out of this thing.
Glass bottles.
Hey, Fonzie's Italian, dude.
Yep.
And then Terence Hill, right before he walks away, gives a little kick, and all these quarters come out, and he's like, "There's your change."
I don't think it's quarters.
Well,
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be.
It's coins.
I think it's supposed to
late
be.
quarters. Well, that's French. Whatever.
No, it's Le Royale.
Les
They don't have,
Royales.
they're on the metric system.
the Royale with cheese comes out.
The Royale with change.
Don't forget your change.
And these chicks start eyeballing them, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially Dr. I. McDreamy guy.
Yeah.
Oh, and then there's one more really fun one that you totally called it.
Yeah, they have this little rocket game, which I wish any carnival I had ever gone to had. This is
Does this
sweet.
Full
not-
agreement.
Does this not look like the head to a nuclear?
I mean, it's an old school,
It's
like
nuclear dummy.
it's
The
how-
S is silent.
Nuclear. I would have drawn this as a rocket when I was like 7 or 8 years old, or a firework.
Okay.
Like if I was drawing fireworks, this is what I would have had. It's got the very pointy tip and
It
just
looks
a
like a
cylindrical
sideways cone.
body. Yeah.
And
But
it's
it's on
like
a roller skate, which is on a fucking roller coaster track.
yeah, it has a little handle on the back, and you push it, and like it needs to go around the track, and however many times it goes around, you get a prize.
A big, yeah.
The first guy does it and doesn't even get all the way to the top.
Aw. Well, that's the guy showing you how he's like, yeah. You
No, it was just some wiener boy, I'm thinking.
Yeah,
fucking
oh,
wiener.
okay.
Yeah. His
And
arm
then-
got broke when he fell off the bumper cars. Relax.
And then beat 'em up guy does it, and when it goes up through the whole like rise,
He
then
does
it
a
drops
bunch of
down.
warm-ups, though. He does the whole.
Oh well, he does it a couple times, and then Bud Spencer and Terence Hill come up and stare at him. I keep almost saying Tracy. That's the first time I did it. They come up and
Well,
start
you
staring
get pretty
at
far
him.
then.
and he stops and looks at them, and then he starts winding up again. But he pushes it, and it goes up the little hill, and then down the drop, and then it goes around, and it goes 3 times, and they're like, "Oh shit, that's great!" And fucking Bud Spencer walks up,
Kid's even giving him shit. He's like, that's a lot of muscle.
Yeah.
You think you can do it?
and he doesn't even warm up. He just barely pushes this thing, and it goes and goes and goes and goes. And the guy, the fucking the carny dude, is like, "I'm all out of prizes."
I thought like, it was kind of like, I don't know the last time you watched Blow, but back to Bobcat Goldthwait, his character, when he's like, if it reaches a certain number, and he's like, 1, okay, 7, fuck me running, 14, 21, my God. That's what it was, like 1 rotation, 6 rotations. I'm out of prizes, no more rotations. I cannot feel my face.
You're correct. No more rotations because what happens?
It shoots off the tracks and flies away. We didn't get as long of a shot as I was hoping for.
I would have sworn it was going to hit the beat
person?
'em up guy. Mostly, yeah, anybody. But I thought beat 'em up guy is going to be walking away, and it's going to right into him.
It would've
See, I
been
was
awesome.
waiting for it to like fly off and go through like the
Impale.
Piggly Wiggly stand or some shit, or sorry, El Piggly Wiggly stand.
Ooh, somebody has a cob of corn,
Lay.
and it goes by so fast that it like all the corn on the cob pops. They thought about it, but like, we don't know how to do this.
We don't
Yeah.
have that kind of budget.
We don't have popped corn budget.
And then they follow him.
We don't have
to,
dialogue budget.
They end up following the beat 'em up guy to what I thought was like a gay porn movie theater.
No, it's a neon lit man with dumbbells going to his fucking head.
It's a gym for muscles.
Yeah.
55 and what is it? 55 and 16.
I didn't see the first
there you go.
15.
I can't.
Fist and Fire in 16.
I couldn't summon a Butters voice.
I'm just a little bit curious, I guess.
We're all a little bit curious, Butters.
But he goes in and it's a gym and there's all these dudes working out.
But it's all the beat 'em up dudes.
It's a bunch of beat 'em up dudes, and we get Dune Buggy ×3 here. And anytime that song comes on, that's when fun is about to ensue.
Yeah.
No,
And
this is the 4th time, I think.
I don't know.
they basically get into a tussle with all these dudes at this gym, and it's fucking hilarious.
There's parts Jim Cotta.
Yeah. Terence Hill is like swinging around on this little what's it called, the horse,
The pommel horse.
pommel horse. And he's swinging around on that,
Well, it
kicking
might as well be called
dudes.
a pummel horse now because he got pummeled.
And by the way, Jack is referencing another movie, Jim Cotta, that will probably be a future episode. It sounded exciting, but I watched it and I was like, whew.
Rough. Did you watch it alone without beer?
Yeah.
I always leave my recommendations with people and beer.
It would be a lot more fun with people and beer.
Uh-huh.
Maybe people and, I don't know, whiskey.
Yeah. Ooh, I'll do that. Ooh.
Then we're
gin
not
cotta.
recording an
We'll do
episode.
gin cotta.
We got Roku
We'll do. Oh yeah, Roku all day.
all day.
Martini
All day.
Cotta.
I'm in, dude.
By the way,
Gin
my
Durka.
martinis are mostly just gin.
Oh yeah, I like
With-
to look at
he
a picture of
whispers-
sweet vermouth or dry vermouth and stop.
He whispers vermouth into the glass.
I had a shit ton of olive juice though. I am so disgustingly dirty.
You can keep that shit. Yeah. I do mine with a lemon.
You can bring your own.
Basically, just get a jar of olives, dump half that shit out, fill it up with gin, put the lid on it, shake it, and I'll take it. Yeah.
Oof.
Do you whisper vermouth when you do that?
No, I scream in vermouth. Be gone.
The jar is sealed, so only a little bit gets through.
You shake it in front of the unopened bottle of vermouth.
Get away.
Now look at it again.
Stop looking at it.
I bought this vermouth, but I'm just going to look at it while I make a martini.
It's a conversational piece. You got vermouth? Yeah, moving on.
I put vermouth in with the ice. I shake up the ice. Then I dump all the vermouth out. Then I put the gin in. So whatever stuck to the ice.
That is the proper way to make it for me.
That's
Or
the way
you
I
put
was taught.
Like the way I was taught is you put the vermouth in the glass, roll it around,
he
dump
tried
it
that.
out.
It's still too much.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
too much for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was taught that years ago by a friend who worked at an Italian
Melissa.
restaurant. Fun enough.
A different Melissa, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi,
Yeah.
Melissa.
But let's just drink some gin.
All right. So back
So anyway,
to
they
dumbbells.
get into a fight. There is one guy at some point during this fight. The ADR, anytime they're in a fight, is fucking just
My
hilarious
arm!
shit.
I
Dude.
need that.
That's the later
You
fight.
have one guy doing all of it though, where he's like, "Oh, zoinks! Wow!"
This guy though, in this scene, one of the guys goes, "Put him up, put up your dukes," like fucking.
Put 'em
what
up,
did I
put 'em
say?
up.
What was it? Snaggletooth?
Yeah, Snagglepuss.
Snagglepuss.
Put him up. Put
That's
him up.
exactly what he sounded like. Put
That's
up your
what the
dukes.
lion from Wizard of Oz.
Same thing.
Exit stage left. Even heavens to Murgatroyd.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there's some great things here. I mean, we are talking about just working your way through a Double Dragon level.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are doing. We've talked about it before. This is a better Double Dragon movie
It
right
is.
here than the Double Dragon movie.
And it's the two of them against, what is it? Just random number 20 people.
yeah, sure.
At
20
least,
20
yeah.
sounds about low.
Yeah.
And but they keep getting up too. They knock him down, and these guys just keep coming back. I'm like,
Well,
leave.
and now at some point, the head beat 'em up guy comes out in his gym clothes. Like he's got like a boxing robe over. It's like a black.
Yeah, they're all wearing red,
Uh-huh.
like red and yellow kind of things. He comes out dressed like Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the boss level.
I'm not gonna let these guys beat up all my guys. I'm gonna beat up my guys. I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna beat them all up. You can't beat up my guys.
He's the baby boss.
I'm the baby boss.
I saw this video the other day where this guy was walking up to, and the guy is annoying, and I hate that he did this, but it was the part with Mike Tyson was funny. He's walking up to famous people, musicians and actors, and he's like, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" And most of them had like, "Oh, I'm an accountant," or like,
Yeah.
"I walk around the streets of New York," because that's where it was mostly taking place. He
Uh-huh.
walks up to Mike Tyson, he's like, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" And he's like, "Get the fuck away from me! I'll kick the shit out of you."
I beat up people that ask stupid questions.
It
Yeah,
was really
but
funny.
so-
I bite the ears off.
I'm feeling a little peckish.
It's great that the little baby boss is out now because they keep just pushing him. And there's always somebody or something
yet.
behind him. Yeah, not yet. Like 3 times he gets pushed over either a person or a stool or a table. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
And then at the end, he's like barely standing up, and they're like,
Now?
And then they basically just tell him, give us our fucking dune buggy tomorrow at noon. And the guy's like, blah, and falls over. Like,
And Derek pointed out these are his kind of people, like first thing in the morning at noon.
Yeah.
yeah, we want to see you first thing in the morning, noon PM.
I want my dune buggy at the crack of noon, or else.
Or else.
Otherwise, I'm mad.
So then we get a really weird, very long entrance of like these guys that are supposed to be tough guys, these bikers.
With weird fucking.
They have these like lightning bolt things that look very much like the SS.
It's a
but like
logo.
longer
two
SS.
SSs put together.
Yeah,
It's-
exactly.
One on top of the other.
It's a
Is it a
It's
sneaky?
a sneaky snake. We're bikers.
sneaky SS.
Sneaky bikers. I kind of wish it was Miami Connection. Like these guys are here to do some damage and sell cocaine.
No.
Because, I would like to see this big fella on cocaine.
Did I tell you that Derek made me watch that with him like not even 3 weeks ago?
No. He didn't make you watch it. He allowed you to.
Yes, I let you watch it with me.
You're welcome.
So, but these bikers all riding in a gang.
It isn't
and
too long of a scene, though. You're right. I just thought about that.
It
We
cuts
can cut,
back so many times.
We can
3
cut
different
part
times.
of this. Like, we get it. We see your look.
Yeah.
We see that you're bikers. We know
We
you're on
see
your way
you're
somewhere.
an hour away.
And I love
An hour
these
away.
bikers though, because like these. Okay, bikers.
Leather suits.
We all live in the United States of America. Well, I mean, not everybody listening.
All of us
We
in
do.
this room.
Hopefully,
Three of us.
hopefully, people listening also live outside the United States of America. But
Yeah,
you know what
chime
an
in.
American biker looks like: leather vest, usually jeans, leather chaps,
Yep.
that kind of thing.
Bandana.
These guys have their leather jackets and they have their leather pants, and everything is form fitting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They look like, speaking of Double Dragon, they look like villains from a video game.
They're going to ride off of this set and go fucking film for Blade.
Yep.
It's going to take them 20 years to get there.
If these were purple, I would have thought this was a gang of Eddie Murphys.
That's how toy it was.
But so it's the bikers, and then we cut to the scene where Jeremiah gives Spencer that old car that's painted red and yellow.
Yeah.
And then we cut back to the bikers, and then we cut to Terence Hill back at the circus with the girl, and he takes her on the Ferris wheel, and the circus has, or whatever, it's not the circus. I called her the circus girl
Call,
in my
call the
notes, but
circus because it's fine.
There's clowns.
If
Clowns
England
don't
has-
go to
if-
carnivals, clowns go to circuses.
Dude, if England has that Piccadilly circus, they can call this a circus.
Isn't that
Yeah.
like a food place?
Yes.
Okay.
Whatever.
But
It's not a circus, it just has it in the name.
But she tells him that like the circus here had to be shut down because Big Baby Boss Man doesn't want anybody to have fun or whatever.
I don't like fun unless I'm having it.
And he takes her on a Ferris wheel ride, and he turns on the music and everything, and she's like, "Don't do that. They're gonna come and burn it down or whatever." And then we cut back to the bikers, and then we cut to Big Baby Bonaducci talking to the bikers via like CB radio.
Uh-huh.
Because at first I looked down, I was typing something, and I was like, did he just call them on a cell phone from 1974?
Yeah, it took me a second to find it, but the lead biker
sitting
has
on there.
a long microphone.
A few of them have it on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like the radio and the microphone and a huge antenna, like an 8-foot tall antenna coming
Because
off
I kind of
this
just forgot it was
motorcycle.
74. I'm like, yeah, you got like a fucking earpiece in or something. No, you do
No,
not.
they got them CBs going.
yeah.
Yeah, no, Tom Cruise hadn't invented the invisible earpiece yet. That's a Mission
Doesn't
Impossible
be
thing.
invisible. Just to fit inside of a helmet.
So he's telling them like, hey, you have to be there by noon. That's when they're expecting their dune buggies. And then also I have a note here that says Pleasance loves carrots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we hadn't talked about it. We did mention carrots, but this Donald Pleasance throughout this movie is just chomping on carrots.
And he's eating one like a corn cob.
We
Yeah,
are
he's
talking
eating them from
about
the side.
1974, no GMOs, giant ass fucking carrots, though.
These things,
I have
I swear to God, are the width of a soda can.
I have never seen a carrot this large in my
No.
life. Unless I'm looking down.
Exactly.
It's that wide, but it's not that long.
It's that orange. No, dude, they're fucking huge. And yes, the one that he eats like a cob of corn sickens me. There are certain things you eat that way, certain things you don't. You don't eat a cob of corn the opposite way. You don't go fucking head first on a cob of corn.
And just drag your teeth on it.
Now I'm ready to see that. I mean, that's how cartoons eat corn, and this
Yeah.
is a cartoon. But
Most
he's
of the
not eating
time
corn.
it
He's
is.
eating a carrot. But anyway, so the bikers finally arrive, and like, it's like they arrived at the circus here when they're getting off the Ferris
they're right
wheel.
next to
but
Ben's.
then immediately they're outside of.
There's a couple of
Bud
shots. The
Spencer's
circus
shop.
is just outside of the shop.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it's nearby, but it's like
No, you can see it.
It looks like though when Terence Hill is getting off the Ferris wheel they're at the entrance of the circus facing him.
Yeah, so why
But
did
then
they-
we cut to,
okay.
and they're at Bud Spencer's garage.
You know what?
Yeah.
You're right, because I did think there was 2 groups of them. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
they're doing the pincer maneuver.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
was what I thought at first too. But then Terrence Hill just comes strolling up next to Bud Spencer here.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He's like,
Surprise!
hey
bad
guys,
was far
editing.
enough.
we're really close to my buddy. If you just want to reconvene like 15 yards that way.
If you just wanna have, like, 30 on
give me
2.
don't give me your speech yet. I'll meet you over there. Then you guys can give me your tough guy speech. Does that
Yeah.
sound good? Sounds good.
And
Sounds
this
great.
guy who's doing the ADR for all the bikers
Uh-huh.
has a great voice. He's just like, he sounds like a villain he sounds like a G.I. Joe bad guy, but not Cobra Commander, because he's just like he's telling them that they have the buggy there, and he's like, "What do you mean you don't see the buggy? It's right before your eyes.
noon.
It's right before your eyes." That is a little more Cobra Commander.
No, but it's good. I like it. It's 80s cartoon villain. And these guys, starting with Bud, just start pantomiming. They're like, "Oh yeah, oh I see it. Oh my God, it's gorgeous."
They're like rubbing the curves
yeah,
of it.
Shouldn't
showing
it-
us the lines of it.
Shouldn't it be up here?
Should be a little taller. And then the kid comes in and he's wiping it down with his hat. Like, oh yeah, baby.
And they do a fairly good job of the pantomime until Terrence Hill just starts walking back and forth right where the dune buggy
Yeah.
was.
It's like, what? You're not satisfied?
With what you see, he's like, the problem is I can't fucking see it, and then flips him over his shoulders.
Yeah, this lead biker starts swinging a chain in the
Yeah.
air, and Bud Spencer grabs the chain and just fucking throws this dude.
Which leads to a long but not a long
It was
but good.
Terrence, not Bud. It was a skinny guy.
Yeah, because he
Oh,
grabs
was
the
it?
bike.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
And that's what I'm getting to. It's a long but really deserving bike chase.
Yeah.
Like a romp through the
This-
fucking woods. This is awesome, man.
I hated it because I mean I loved the scene. I hated that I was starting to like not pass
Not
out.
because it was boring, because you had a long day.
My eyes would not want to stay open. Like Jack is sitting next to me. He's like, "You see that?" I'm like, "Yes, I can see it." And I really wanted to.
Oh yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
I saw everything you saw. What did you see? Tell me what you saw. And I'll
Clockwork
tell you if it's what I
Orange
saw.
myself, and I'm just like, "Ugh," and he's
It's a
seeing
lot
me
like when
shake my
Whitney and I are
face.
watching shows together at the end of the night.
Yeah, and I'm like,
and
"You see
she's like,
that?"
"Hey, did you see that? That was pretty cool, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that was fucking crazy."
Yeah. Well, it's
Yeah.
funny. It's like, why does a human body, like, why does a human brain need to do that? Why wouldn't you just be like, oh, I was passed out? You're always like, I wasn't sleeping. Like, we're all little kids
That's
again.
always his first thing. I'm like, "Quit fucking lying to me,
Well, I
Dick."
think it's the thing for me. I don't know what was happening to you, but for me, it's like if you start falling asleep just because you're exhausted, but you're trying to finish something, it's more like I don't realize I'm falling asleep. So I'm watching a scene, and then she's like, "Did you see that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I saw it," because I can still hear everything going on in the movie or the show. And then so we turn it off, we go to bed. And the next day we start watching the next episode, and I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?"
I didn't see that.
But yeah, so no, in this, I hate that I was trying to keep my eyes
Yeah.
open. Because there was some really awesome things that I did actually get to see. Like the biker getting thrown over on one thing and the fucking jousting situation.
I mean, the whoever's doing the bike stunts for our
it's
main
actually
guy.
Terrence on there.
Is it?
Yes.
I looked like him to me.
You
I know
can
a
see it.
couple of the close-up ones did, but the further ones, I just wondered if it's him. Fucking great.
No,
if it's not him, it's somebody doing it's great.
I
Like,
wanted there is one scene where it is not him, but I wanted to say this at the beginning. Terrence does 80% of his stunts on this thing.
Yeah.
Like
And
you
you-
can see him on the, especially on the
I'm
motorcycle.
betting
That's
the
the
big
thing.
guy
This
does
is
too.
this is 1974, and this has been converted to HD, and it didn't look like shitty wigs. And with it being a really low budget Italian movie, I feel like we would have known.
There was only one time that I saw a shitty wig, and that
Yeah.
was during an intense stunt with the motorcycle. But otherwise, it was them.
So with these
But
bike
one
cranks,
of the guys tries to drive away, and Bud Spencer grabs the chain and is just holding the chain.
No,
no,
he's
he's got
holding
the
the
back.
seat.
He's got the yeah.
Oh,
like
is that what it is?
the sissy bar? I guess.
Yeah,
is
he's
what it's
holding
called.
onto it, and the guy is just revving the engine. The tires just going.
Let
And
go.
finally, he's like, "Let go!" So he just lets it go, and the guy goes flying through a fucking fence. But the rest of this scene is all through this forest. And I told Jack during while we were watching it, I was like, all I could think of was Endor.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was waiting
Yeah.
for there to be like, and there kind of was where like
I see him, Leia.
there kind of was where like Terrence Hill does a jump over these fucking logs, and then the two dudes just slam into the logs and flip over. Yeah, it's very much the same scene from Jedi, except for that was the trees hit them in the head and they fell off.
Yeah. And the whole time that he's doing this, he's talking shit to the fucking boss.
Yes, because he's got the the thingy.
He's got the microphone, yeah, and the boss doesn't know that it's him, I guess, is what it
He
sounds like.
thinks it's the same guy, even though he sounds like Terence Hill and not like
And
fucking Cobra
he's
Commander.
like, well, I took that guy, his head went into a tree. You know, he's like, yeah, excellent. No, it'd be, excellent. His head went into a tree. That's dynamite.
But the
yeah.
Nazi Lucian or whatever, what is his name?
Nazi Lotion's pretty good.
Nazi Lotion. Now, what I mean is, it's Donald Pleasance who played
Okay.
Dr. Loomis.
There it is. So he's the one like, you idiot. It's the fucking guys we wanted
He has
that you're
been playing
talking to.
with. Oh, he's not French. He
No.
has been playing with us this whole time.
Yes, he has.
There is one piece of ADR that's used more than once where like somebody's like trying to turn their bike and they fall and it's like, oh, I slipped.
Yeah.
And it comes like it happened and we all laughed.
5 times,
and then
right?
and then later on it's like, oh, I slipped. And then oh, I slipped.
So he's taking these guys out systematically, and
Yeah.
it's great because I think your wife pointed out, like, nobody just falls. 2 guys fall into it's a wood
sled?
a sled for wood made from wood
Yep.
that you would use to haul logs down a mountain, but they're just bobsledding now.
But then,
Yes, they
then
are.
it doesn't even go on like it's not like they put a track out for
There
it. It's
is one
stop
for a
motion.
track.
Uh-huh.
Well, the track the track
a
one
coal
is like the
miner's
mine
track.
part later. This part with the sled, it's like stop motion. So it's like these guys were sitting there and somebody walked up, pushed it, and then they went back and took a shot, and then they pushed it, because it's a stop motion like jerky thing, and it doesn't. I thought it was just going to go down into a bush. It goes down, it goes around a tree, it comes back around. It's like it's way longer than it
So-
should be.
and we
But
should-
I'm here for
Well, no,
it.
in a
should
good way.
say, all these fight scenes are sped up.
Yeah. But in a
And-
good way.
and-
like
and- oh yeah, I don't
didn't
mean to
hate
sound
it.
like I'm talking shit. It's just something that's it's a fine way to, especially 74, beef up your choreography.
Yeah.
Beef up a fight scene. You know, instead of having these guys go slow mo like and 1 and 2 and 3. It's it's rapid, fast, and it's happening.
Did you want the Benny Hill song to play right here?
Yakety Sax? That's the name of the song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love some Yakety Sax right here. But yeah, it's fucking awesome. You know, I'm not complaining about it. It's just a technique that I noticed.
Yes.
Like,
No,
a
I
little sped
definitely.
up footage.
And they did it in a wonderful way.
Bud Spencer throws some dude into a mine cart, which goes
Yes.
into water. And I was like, what is this, fucking Blazing Saddles? Why is this cart going into... And then another guy, he's driving next to him, and he
This
just lifts
is-
this dude up.
This is the stunt of the fucking movie for
Yeah.
me.
He pulls this dude up, and he's just holding him in the air, and the bike goes, and he just ends up... I think he just drops him,
His
right?
feet are
Aw.
his feet are going on the pavement.
I missed
the,
this
the
one.
dirt.
Oh,
a
that's
little
right.
bit.
He's running alongside him.
Yeah.
Okay, I did see
He's
that.
running- then he just lets him go and he falls. But and also for this larger gentleman, he has a much larger bike. It's two
Oh,
wheel,
yeah.
but it has like those wide ATV
Yeah.
tires on it.
Yeah, it's like when I tried to buy a bike to ride to work.
And it
Yeah.
I was like, well, I got to get fat guy tires.
That
But
they
we
gave
find
this guy
out
fat guy tires.
He doesn't like the 2 wheels. He's like,
He
I don't
hates
like
it.
those contraptions. That's why he's got a big boy
I
bike.
I
like those
noticed in the beginning
contraptions.
that the kid, when he had his trailer, he has a dirt bike in there. So it makes perfect sense why he's able to do all this shit. And our other guy he's like, I'm a fucking 4-wheel racer. Like,
Yeah.
I need all 4 on the floor, pal.
And Terrence is like smooth as fuck. We're coming up to the jousting part.
Yeah,
He is
that's right
having
now.
Fun
this jousting
on this.
scene is another one that's long.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Okay,
I'm not unhappy.
let's not break it apart. Let people watch that one because it's
Nobody's going to watch this.
you need to.
It costs $2.99 on Amazon, but they do get he gets his dirt bike, turns around and sees two guys left, and they both have big sharpened wooden poles? ?
Yeah, because they
You saw
found
him over by the horse in the hay bales.
they found a frontier family from the 1700s building a house.
Yep.
And so Terence Hill grabs one, and they have this face off, and even the subtitles said spaghetti western music.
Yeah, I laughed at that.
And then in comes Ben.
Yes. So Bud Spencer rolls up, and as soon as he rolls up, we get Dune Buggy again.
But now we're here for it. 'Cause
Yeah,
we're
now
like,
it's
okay.
come back around.
Come back
back
around,
around.
and it's working. It's fucking magic. Good God, I was happy to hear it.
He gives the jousting pole to Bud Spencer, who rides over and kind of like, they do this jousting thing. We would go fully into it, but he's like dodging him and stuff. He ends up just slapping that guy off the bike, right?
Yeah, he's just punching this guy off the
But
bike.
then he gives the jousting stick back to Terence Hill, and he breaks off this dude's thing and then breaks his own stick.
Because he plays Even Steven.
Yeah. And they just keep going back and forth, and he keeps breaking the stick shorter and shorter.
It's
and of course, the good guys.
It's Robin Hood
triumph.
Men in Tights, where they
Yes,
keep
it is.
breaking their bow staff.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny shit that happens in this scene. I think Big Baby Badaducci is yelling at them on the microphone because Bud Spencer has one on his bike too, and this was not one of their bikes, but he's got it on his, and he's tuned into their channel.
Yeah.
And he starts yelling at them, and he goes to he's getting pissed. He's getting rid of the microphone, and that's when we had to pause the movie, and it paused on the subtitle that I had to write down. It's Donald Pleasance saying, "You think you are a big wolf, but you are just a little chicken." That was a little Van Damme, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I got you.
You are just a little chicken, Heil. I don't know.
Heil chicken. You think you are a wolf, but you are just a little bitty chicken.
A little cheap chicken.
A little cheapy. Now give me a carrot. With a glass of milk. That's French again. The only thing he has is carrots and fucking milk.
Ugh.
Yeah.
You are a trash person.
Big Baby Badaducci has a fucking martini at some point, and they're cheersing with a martini and a 16-ounce glass of milk.
That is a dirty martini, too.
I'm putting it out there right now. If you try and cheers me with milk, we are not friends. You can go fuck yourself.
What if it's breast milk?
Doesn't matter. I don't need the sweet cantaloupe near my shit.
If you want to cheers me with milk, there better also be vodka and Kahlua in there.
I'll cheers a Caucasian.
So then we have this scene where this plane is landing, and all of us perked up wait, are we going to get plane action in this movie?
Are we getting plane stunts?
Oh.
But
we don't.
We don't have that kind of money.
But this guy,
there's this menacing music playing, and this fucking vampire gets off this plane.
Dracula here to take out the heat.
And I think, Jack, it was you that said he looks a lot like Jamie from Yellowstone.
Yeah.
But if he was a vampire.
A Chicago hitman vampire.
And he's got I thought it was a guitar case, but later in the movie they allude to it being a violin case.
It is 100% a guitar case when he gets off that plane.
Okay.
Or maybe a fucking cello,
Yeah.
but not a violin, especially because he's got this. It's a hunting rifle.
the dude just trades it.
They call it a Winchester 7070
Remington.
repeater. Oh, sorry, Remington. Dude, it's a fucking hunting rifle. It's not fitting in a violin case. Not doing it.
Did they saw it off? Because at one point it's like that.
I think it's just how he's holding it. Like he has the butt.
Okay.
He has the butt well behind his back, where it's under his arm.
Where it should be.
No,
underneath his shoulder.
No, I meant your butt.
I would
behind your
like
back.
to see him shoot that and just there it goes.
Well, I don't have that gun anymore.
Okay, so I know how I was threatening you with that gun earlier.
But it turns out he's a hitman from Chicago, and they don't have him speak because this guy is very Italian. You can tell just by looking at him, but he's supposed to be from Chicago.
Terrifying smile when it happened.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When he's forced to smile, it sends chills right down your spine. And then he goes to the garage, and he pulls up, and Terence Hill is like, because Bud Spencer at this point is checked out. He's like, I'm not mad anymore. I don't give a fuck. You can do it if you want.
You said it would get our cars back, our buggy back. It hasn't. I just don't fucking care.
Yeah, and he's basically taking a nap in a chair. Terence Hill is in a fucking hammock. There we go. Couldn't think of the word. My brain was like cot. No, that's not right. Cots have legs. Hammocks are scary.
It's like a bunch of ropes tied together you can sleep in.
You could sleep in. I'm not sleeping in this. That's terrifying.
Oh, I'd sleep in that.
That's how I'll die.
Is he going to be in there?
Terence Hill?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I'll be in
I think he's still alive. He made a movie in 2018.
Yeah, he was alive then.
Called My Name is Thomas.
I hope we didn't just kill him.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
People don't die in 5 years.
No one's ever died in 5 years.
I didn't look and see if either of
He
these guys
mentioned
were
his
still
name.
alive.
He probably died tomorrow.
But then we'll have to go back and add a bumper to the episode about how he died because we recorded it in advance. That's all your fault because you said it.
Yeah,
he
but you
said
know
it.
what? It sucks. It sucks that he's dead. If that happens, but it's good to know that we have superpowers.
So the guy pulls up in this car, and Terence Hill is like, "Hey, there's a guy in a black suit in a black car that just pulled up and is staring at us. Would you describe him as a killer?" And Bud Spencer's like, "I'd consider the possibility."
By the way, Terence Hill's alive.
Is he? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, as of recording.
As of 3.5 months ahead of this episode. No, we're not that far ahead.
We are a year ahead.
As of 2022, you're hearing this episode in 2029, but
We recorded in 2012. We have no idea what's coming.
but yeah, so Bud Spencer, smartest person in this scene, because the guy starts setting up his gun. He's gonna shoot these two, And Bud Spencer just starts rolling backwards in his little rolly
Like, wait, you're
chair.
gonna sneak up on him? He's like, no, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna take him very seriously.
Yeah, I take him seriously, and I'm leaving. And he goes through the back door in a very hilarious fashion. So when the guy looks up through his gun, Bud Spencer's gone. So he sees Terence Hill. He turns the gun to aim at him. Terence Hill is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So then we cut to the payoff for the singing scene. Bud Spencer is in this chorus or whatever where all the dudes are just saying ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, and all the women are just saying
It is a nightmare fuel of a Small World from Disneyland.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if this guy who's doing the
The composer?
composing, well, he's not composing, the conductor.
Yeah.
The guy who's doing the conductor could this possibly be Danny Elfman? Because this music.
I've seen Danny Elfman. This ain't
No,
Danny
this is not Danny
man.
Elfman. Danny Elfman's a
This is
weird
Tim
looking
Burton,
dude.
if anything.
It's Tim Burton and Danny Elfman's baby.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
This is the guy who spawned them both. That's why they work together so much.
okay.
I want you to split me down the middle.
I just put it together.
I'm like a cell. I just do mitosis or whatever it's
It's
called.
either mitosis or apoptosis.
I don't know.
Mitosis is a word that I know, so I'm going to go
Yeah.
with that.
I think you
I know
need
there's
to-
mitosis and meiosis. I remember that from high school chemistry, biology, whatever.
That was
I
too
don't
long
remember
ago
which
for
one
me.
meant what.
Yeah.
I remember those two words.
I know the word.
Doesn't matter. He split and he became.
I am a single cell paramecium brain.
Half of him became Danny Elfman. Half of him became Tim Burton, and that's why we have Oingo Boingo and Edward Scissorhands.
And they reunited with their amulets. They put them together and like, oh my God, we used to be the same person. I'd write that movie.
Punch
wait,
it up, bitch.
wait, your mom's name was Martha too?
Martha.
So this scene was a little too long, and this is where we could have cut some time out. There was a lot of funny stuff, but it just went on.
How many
Yes,
holes are in
yes.
this fucking collar?
So that's what it is. It's this guy trying to find a spot to kill from, and there are holes all over this fucking
Every
auditorium.
painting has a hole behind it. There's holes in corners. There's gaps underneath the stage.
And some of it's funny, but like you said, too, if I'm cutting this movie down to 80, I'm starting right here because it's too much of that la 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 la.
Yeah.
And I like some of it because
Hey.
now
No, that's what he does.
I know he does because he starts to thumb or finger his mouth. He's like, blah, 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 blah. Hey.
and he does it once, and the conductor is very happy with it. And then he does it again. Every time he does the second one, he's distracted. So he's like,
Yeah.
blah, 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 and he's like, no, do it again. And they're like, no, do it again.
I
Why
don't
are you
know
doing it
what
again?
he's looking for, but I can't imagine it's anything close to that.
Well, and there's no way this is like a professional fucking like choir. This is just like some people who volunteered to help you with your stupid dinner show.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this is the local church's fucking production.
But yeah, this guy from Chicago is being sneaky sniper.
Sneaky
Big guy's
sniper.
moving across, like, because
Oh.
it's segregated by women on the left, or stage left, and men on stage right. And he's walking through, and as soon as he gets to the women, well done, Whitney. That was awesome. Yeah, he starts singing, like, and Derek pointed out, your voice is still the same. You can
Yeah, you're still just
sing.
going la 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 la.
Went up a little.
Yeah, I know, but like he still sounds like a big dude.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't sound like
He
these
ain't
women.
fooling nobody.
And I don't know what's going on with these women, but there's one woman who is either eye fucking or eye judging him the entire time.
I go
One
for the
is-
latter.
I at first I thought it was judging, but then once he's over
She's
there
behind her,
and
she's like,
holds her
yeah.
book up
Oh,
for him
yeah?
to see, she like gives him eyes like, "Hey, what's up?"
Oh,
So-
okay. All right.
And then the other one is I fucking the kid.
well, you can't
Oh
blame
yeah,
her.
yeah, because
No.
Terence Hill, when he first comes in, is trying to get Bud Spencer's attention. He's like, "Psst," and this girl who is supposed to be disgusting because she has glasses, she sees him and she's like, "Hey,"
But he
and
doesn't
he's-
discriminate, dude. He's just like, well, I'm not trying to get your attention, but hi.
Yeah, and then he's like, "No, not you, him," and she's like, "Okay," and then he does it again, and she's like, "What's up?" But then Terence Hill is sneaking into the choir too, and it's funny when he first joins because the conductor looks up and he's like,
Something's off.
Something's not right
I
here.
don't recognize
And I'm like,
that
well,
man.
it could be because every single person in this choir had black hair. And now you have a dude with blue hair or blue eyes and blonde hair sneaking through your choir, but he's just like, I don't know, go for it.
And he's just like,
Fuck it, it's not getting worse.
bum, 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 bum.
I still think he's lip syncing to it, and he's just pantomiming with his face so
Well,
fucking.
and I love it because he's
selling.
doing like puffy cheeks, like
Uh-huh.
burr, burr, burr.
Like
Like, he
the
is
people
selling
around
it.
him. Yeah. And then he does honor the girl with a wink.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
Because like,
Catch you
hey,
later,
I see
lady.
you have glasses on, but I don't fucking care.
You know what glasses are good for?
Mm-hmm.
Cum shots.
I say windshields.
I'm the gross one.
At
here.
one point, the sneaky sniper is down like below the stage, and there's like a little gap. And of course, as soon as he's there, then the conductor's like, "Everything's perfect. Raise the stage."
Yeah.
And so it closes him off. I have a note that says the house that Brando built because it just reminded me of like something like the house that Jack built, where it's like all set up for this stuff.
You built
but
a house?
No.
no, that's a movie you've probably not. Both of you have never seen.
It's fine.
But you will, because I'll make you watch it. I have it over there on
What a
Blu-ray.
threat.
Of course you do. Okay.
Of course you do.
But yeah, no, it's like there's just snipe spots everywhere and kill
There are.
spots everywhere.
Is this
Yeah,
where
it was
Lincoln
built
was
by
built?
it was built by
Shit.
Marlon Brando for fucking Godfather. He's
Yeah.
like, look, just in case we need to murder anybody during a performance.
You can get any angle.
I could have been a contender.
And then Terence Hill sneaks away, and we get the Chicago hitman guy going up into the rafters, and he opens up his case, which is now maybe it's a viola, so it's slightly larger than a violin,
It's
but
still,
it's still
not
not a
as
guitar.
large as the hunting rifle.
No, and he opens up this case, and it's a violin, and he looks up. Terence Hill is sitting across from him, holding the gun at him, and he's like, "I've got it."
No, dude, the ADR is like, I've got it now.
But his face is like, I've got
Yeah, that's how he delivered it. But then he got back to the studio. He's like, I got it now.
I've got the gun. See?
I took that gun out of your violin case.
And then we cut to the scene where he now has to go to Baby Boss's restaurant.
Well, first it's a real quick thing, but it kind of matters because it's the reason Bud Spencer decides to get back involved.
Oh, yeah.
Donald Pleasance puts the idea in Big Baby Bonaducci's mind that Jeremiah is the mastermind behind
That's
everything
right.
Because
Jeremiah
tells a story earlier
He used
that
to be the
apparently
boss.
he tells a bunch. But yeah, I used to be his boss. He's like,
No,
calm
you
down.
weren't.
Well, it's very Chris Farley.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, calm down. He's like, well, I was second in command. Ease up. Well, I cooked at his restaurant.
I
There
cooked
it
at a
is.
restaurant that he really liked.
A guy I know, him and her got it on.
They got it on.
No yelling on the bus.
Good, great, grand, wonderful.
So they end up like Bud Spencer sends Terence Hill away. He unlocks his van and shit, and he's like, or his bus, and he's like, I don't give a fuck. You can do whatever you want, but you got to go.
Yeah.
And then immediately finds Jeremiah with the shit kicked out of him, laying underneath a car. And Jeremiah, in this very dramatic scene, what's the most dramatic scene of the movie, really? He's laying there. He's like, I don't know. I tell him I didn't want it. I didn't want no boondoggie.
I mean, it is the dramatic part, and it cracks you up. That boondoggie.
So we're at the climax of the movie, kind of here.
Climax.
So we're climaxing.
He gets back in his original rally car.
A little race car, which is fucking sweet, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I like
drives
it.
to the restaurant and stops right in front of it. It gets out and bangs on the door. Nobody answers. Bangs on the door. Nobody answers. Then all of a sudden, this big shadow comes up on his face. It's Terence.
And
Yep.
he even said, like, what are you doing here? Like, it's going to be some big reveal.
Yeah.
Like, who else is it going to be?
Right? Oh, man, Big Baby Bonaducci is outside standing up? I doubt it.
Baby Bonaducci, the steel chair.
Oh, shit.
All's going to fuck him up.
Somebody call Baby Bonaducci's mama. Because he's dead.
He's a bad
Oh,
boy.
man. JR. All right. But yeah, so it's Terence Hill. And then the little window pops open and a guy pops out and he's like, the wizard's not going to see no one, no way, no how. And he closes it and goes back inside.
Yep.
And then it opens up again and this little eyeball comes out and it just looks at him and it goes, blah, 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 and then it goes back in.
Wrong movie.
Oh, shit.
Oh, that's a race car of a different color.
But really, it's a little Italian man who pops his face out and he's like, sorry, this is a private party and low-class bums aren't invited.
Got a big cigar, dude. That's your first mistake. Don't talk to my man with a cigar in your mouth.
Nope.
Because you know you're going to get fucked up.
You're going to regret this.
And so they get back into the rally car and do what I thought he was going to do from the beginning.
Oh, no. I called it. It's like, no, you don't just go guns a-blazing. You got to knock on the door and talk to the munchkin first.
Exactly. He drives right through the fucking door. And I don't
Keeps
know.
on driving.
I don't know what this fucking party was, But because we saw the restaurant before set up as a restaurant,
It was
and
a
this
cotillion.
This is one big long table,
How dare you?
and it is a cotillion, kind of.
No one's dancing, and that word's dumb.
I guess the cotillion was earlier in the movie.
Yeah, the
right?
cotillion was earlier.
Say it one more time.
In the green dress.
Cotillion.
Oh.
It's like my fucking Candyman.
I say cotillion one more time. Everybody just hears a door slam.
That's it. I'm out.
But there's just balloons everywhere in this building,
It's a
except
birthday
on the
party.
table.
It ends up being a really cool piece of set.
It's
does.
great because he drives through this table and then takes this car immediately. And the stairs in this building with the balcony are set up like Tony Montana's balcony, right? Where it's like the big balcony and then the stairs coming down either side.
Say hello to my little Ford.
And he drives up one side of the stairs, drives back down the other. He's just chasing people around. And I think you said it, Jack, whoever's driving this car in this scene has incredible control over this
It
Yes,
vehicle.
he
is
does.
awesome, dude. You're turning on dimes. You're going up and down stairs through this house. You can watch the scene yourself because us describing it's not going to do it much
Not
justice.
even
But
a
it's
little
fucking
bit.
awesome, dude. There's bodies flying. People are jumping over these stairs. Like Derek pointed out a couple of stunt people
Very
that were
excited.
just like in this movie. And I mean capital N. Like,
One,
Yahoo!
yeah, the one I remember specifically reminded me of that girl from Deep Rising, who was just dove off the balcony, like because he's not like I'm jumping out of the way of a car. He's just like swan dive off this fucking thing.
Some judges stand up and put up a 9.5.
And we get Dune Buggy again during this scene.
So they obviously had to put the balloons down to cover the mats, the pads that are on the ground.
I mean, they didn't have to, but I'm glad they did.
Yeah.
I think
They
that's
could've
part
just
of
not
it.
shown the ground.
Yeah, because
No,
these people
definitely.
everybody's flying
just
off
see
the
them
balcony.
disappearing
and, like,
in
yeah.
this.
Yeah, you get
sea
just,
of
well, they're gone.
balloons.
They live in the balloons now.
And then they get out of the car and they have like a tussle. Well, first he gets out of the car because he drives it around and hits the supports for the balcony, and the balcony collapses
As they
on-
reverse under it.
Yeah.
Again, great
Perfect
car
parking
crank.
job.
Yeah, like a glove.
And
And
can't glove.
they get out and they're fighting these dudes on top of this balcony, and it's your classic action movie, like one person, but there's a group of people and it looks like a lot, but it's one person at a time. And one of them's running at Bud Spencer, one of them's running at Terence Hill, and they're just throwing them over their head, throwing them off the balcony, knocking them out. And it's like a wide shot. It's really cool.
But I feel like they keep getting knocked down and like actor-wise,
They're coming back
getting
up.
right back
Oh,
up.
it's the same actors
Yeah.
over and over
Do you remember,
again.
like, maybe I'm going to show my age. It was like a mechanical staircase that would bring characters up and then they would go down a slide.
Yes.
And they would come back up. That's what this is.
Yeah,
Except it's
100%.
mafia people.
Yeah.
Mine was penguins during Christmas.
Okay.
And, now it's mafia people up staircases.
We love it. It's still Christmas.
I want
for
this
you.
toy.
Mafia penguins.
I think they made a movie about
Aren't penguins mafia anyway?
that. Madagascar, they're at least communists.
Oh, and right before they get into the actual fist fight, though, we bring back the title again because Terence Hill is like, "Hey, are you still mad?" And it's like, "Yeah." And all I can think
That's
of
my secret,
course,
kid.
exactly. That's all I can think of. Anytime someone says, "Are you mad?" All I can think of is the Avengers. That's my secret.
This is also the scene on the thumbnail for the movie
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, on
where
Amazon.
they jump off the fucking balcony.
You got big man going butt first, legs out, and then you got the kid doing a
just,
fucking swan dive.
Oh, and somewhere in here, there's a guy. The first time it's really funny. The second time it's ridiculous. There's a guy who, I think it's Bud Spencer, has his arm held up above him, and he's like, "No, not my arm, not my arm. I need it."
said like
I need
three
it.
or four times.
But it's the same guy comes back because it happens at least 3 times because he comes back and he says, "Not my arm," and he throws him off the balcony again. Then he comes back and he says, "Not my arm," or he starts saying something and Bud Spencer goes, "I know, not the arm." Like he literally acknowledges the fact that this guy keeps saying it. It's like, stop
Shut the
running in here.
Shut the fuck up with your arms and leave.
I need my arm. That's my masturbating arm.
because of the end scene, I'm thinking it's different people.
Hey, I don't know.
It's the same
I just,
ADR.
I just know
is,
at
but
at
it's
one
not the
point
first
I
time
just
they've
thought it was
done
the same
that.
person because of Bud Spencer's line of like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I know your arm."
Yeah,
so.
it's because they all say, "No, my arm, I need it."
But yeah, they jump off when they're standing up there at first. They throw all these people off, and it's just like balloons popping and flying in the air. And it's
So-
like I don't know what's happening down there. People seizing.
I was paying attention, but also I don't remember it. Did Big Boss Baby leave?
Yeah.
Him
crawl.
and
Yeah, him and
Dr.
Donald Pleasance
Dr.
sneak
Nazi?
out, which is even more confusing at the final scene when they have like casts on or whatever. Because as soon as
They were
as
hit
soon
by
as
the
he,
table and then crawled out.
I guess
okay,
so.
so I was gonna say, as soon as he
Okay.
crashes into the table, they crawl out through like a secret side door.
Got it.
I do have to mention too, the punching sounds in this scene are preposterous. Exactly. It sounds like someone's just like degassing a canister next to the microphone. Every time someone gets punched, yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Like, that is not what it sounds like to punch someone. I've not really punched
Come here,
that
let
many
me punch
people.
I know it's not going to sound like that.
I've watched enough movies to know it sounds like a guy hitting a slab of steak.
Or if you're watching Indiana Jones, it sounds like a baseball bat hitting newspaper, but it does not sound like an air compressor.
Someone's just fucking doing nitrous in the fucking Foley studio.
Oh man, I'm super mad. Cricket.
At some point there's a knock-knock joke. Some guy is like running by, and I think it's Terence Hill is hiding.
He's hiding behind balloons.
And he just goes, knock, knock, and the guy turns around, who's there? And fucking Terence Hill flies out and hits him. It's a good time.
Who's there? I am. Pam. Oh, sorry. Psst.
So yeah, they jump down into the balloons, and that's kind of just the conclusion of the scene, is they get to play in a ball pit.
Yeah.
And we go back. This is the end of the movie. We're back at the garage.
He's carrying Jeremiah.
Yeah, he carries him and sets him down in a chair. And then this group of beat 'em up guys.
Oh yeah,
show
they are
up.
beat up.
A lot of them are wearing slings. That's why I'm like, well, maybe that's why there was a few of them.
Ah,
that
not
are
my
like,
arm. Leave my fucking arm alone.
We all need our arm.
I need my arm.
Calm
Yeah, so does
down.
everyone who wants to eat. I mean, I guess you could just bury your face in there.
We have something for you.
So you're like, okay, the mafia gave up because these guys beat them into submission. They go outside. First of all, I don't see any fucking dune buggies right away.
Nope.
And I'm like, uh-oh, is this movie still going?
Hit pause. Do we have 40 more minutes?
And Big Baby Bonaducci gives a little speech.
He is dressed to the nines.
This is where I was like, he's kind of dressed like an adult, but like an
A
adult
furry
who's been doing a lot of
leopard
drugs.
for-
No,
Fedora.
he is dressed like a kid that thinks they know what pimps dress like.
Because it's like a white suit, but
It's
the
got
lining
leopard
of the
print.
pocket, the collar, and his hat are all fuzzy leopard print.
Yeah. Oh, I'm aware.
And I think his
Cuff
cuff areas are also
Yeah.
like anything that would be like flipped out is like fuzzy leopard print. And he says, being of prudent nature and tender heart, we give you these before we. And then Donald Pleasance has to pot. Yes, part. That's what it is.
It's not fart.
Yeah.
I think this guy
And I
left.
hope we never fart. Wait.
I think Big
that's not
Boss
right.
Man left and started Hot Topic after this. Leopard print on everything.
So they give them 2 dune buggies, and we get happy.
And the circus comes back.
Yeah.
'Cause
The
they don't
circus
have to
is
leave.
back
Because the
because
mafia's leaving.
Mafia's run out of town. They got to go to the next town over and destroy that one so they
Yep.
can build their spire. So these 2 have a dune buggy.
They're
jerk
best
off.
friends.
Circle jerk.
Yeah, exactly. Dune buggy circle jerk in this carnival parking lot.
But the
And-
kids got to check out some honeys, dude.
Oh,
Well,
he's
well,
just checking out the one
At
service
one
lady.
point,
Oh, sorry.
they're whipping around, and there's just this group of people walking through the middle of their
Please don't hit him.
thing.
Please don't hit him. Please don't hit
Yeah,
him. Please
I'm
don't
like,
hit him.
you are gonna kill these people. Who just goes, wow, those guys sure are crazy, and walks right through the middle.
Hey, look, they're doing donuts. I love donuts.
This isn't the 90s. It's not like they walked in and were like, oh, if they hit us, we can sue them.
Hadn't been invented yet.
But yes, Terence Hill does get distracted by the carnival girl, who looks less like a weird fish animal with her
She looks better.
glitter
with that
stuff on her
whole
fake up,
glitter
on her
stuff.
fake up,
Yeah.
on her makeup. Like her face has like the
It's a fake up.
the
It's fine.
rhinestones and shit.
She can Xanadu me.
And he crashes into Bud Spencer, and this dune buggy immediately flips over and catches on fire. And
Which
I'm like,
poses the question, why do you want this?
yeah, why? Why could you possibly want these dune
This
buggies?
is worse than a Ford Pinto.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, I would rather drive a Pinto.
I'd rather get rear-ended a Pinto than turn in this dune buggy.
Look, it's kind of tilted to the side. It's on fire.
And much like you had said earlier when they fell out. Now it's on its side, and Big Man's just sitting there, calm as a cucumber, like he landed there.
Yeah.
You know. And now we're getting back to our call back to the beginning of the movie.
Yep.
And he's like, high card?
No, arm wrestle you for it.
No. Beer and a hot dog contest.
Beer and a hot dog. Yeah, we can go slam some glizzies, dude.
Some glizzies and some fizzies, man.
With glizzies and fizzies. This is the lingo that exists today. I didn't know this was a real word till your roommate was talking
Yeah.
about, like, oh, they're slamming glizzies.
The word glizzy was discovered by at least 2/3 of us
Yeah.
in the middle of this movie.
Let us know if you've heard it, because I sure as shit have not ever heard of glizzies.
badmoviesworstpeople@gmail.com.
And I don't even understand where it comes from. Like, I can see like Snoop Dogg doing his
I
like.
hear glizzy, and I think it's like semen-soaked shit.
That shit was glizzied, man.
Damn.
Did you see that girl? She still had glizzy on.
Let me get one of them glizzy donuts, which now translates to a hot dog donut,
which I
You
would
still
eat.
want
and
it?
I'm not out.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, she's right. Badmoviesworstpeople@gmail.com. Com.
Gmail.cunts.
Let me try that again. Badmoviesworstpeople@gmail.com. Send us email stories about glizzies.
Yeah.
Or if you have another nickname for hot dog that I need to know,
Yes,
Yes.
please.
I want to know what you know about hot dogs.
please.
But then we get, I think it's a freeze frame, right? And then into
Yeah.
credits.
Yeah, it should have
And
been the
then-
freeze frame of them jumping into the balloons. I know the movie
Yeah.
wasn't over, but what a freeze frame, which is
Yeah.
why they use it. Is,
I
you
think
know,
I mean, the only
So-
thing that really happened after was they got the dune buggy. And you know what? When you defeated the mafia, you get dune buggies, right?
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I've learned.
And they're best friends now.
That's what happens at Godfather 3, hun. That's why people hate that movie.
Yeah, because the dune buggies. at the
Andy
end
Garcia
come out
just
of
rides
nowhere.
off in a dune buggy.
Exactly.
You'll never get away with this.
And then he turns around the corner and the dune buggy rolls over and catches on fire. And it just doesn't make any sense.
just when you think I'm out,
It pulls me back.
pull me back.
We cut back to credits, or we cut into credits, and we have dune buggy yet again.
You
just
paid
enough.
for the song. Why not?
So we'll go around for recommendations. I'm still torn, so I'm going to start with Jack because he's over there.
Recommendation. Yes, and it's going to be my caveats I mentioned earlier for you not liking Jim Cotta. I needed to watch this. Derek asked, he's like, "We're gonna watch this, together." I was like, "Man, I think I need to watch it with people." It was fun. It was absolutely fun. It's a very mystery science theater-able movie,
Yeah.
if that makes sense, especially with the ADR, which does not stand for a deaf reunion. But yeah, I give it stars. I know what it is. It's a bad fun movie that had a couple of dreamy guys.
I definitely give this a recommend. I'm saddened that I was exhausted in the halfway point, but I definitely watch it with friends.
But you weren't
have a few
bored.
beers. I was not bored at all. I was upset that I was falling asleep.
I think I do have to go with the recommend. It's like a soft recommend because the scenes that are great are great.
Yes.
The stuff that isn't really isn't. Like the in-between stuff just drags a lot. There's a lot of it. The scene we didn't mention that Whitney tried to mention, but I was dumb and thought she was talking about something else with like the Chicago guy playing a violin. It's just really long. There's a lot of long stuff. But when you get to like all the fight scenes, the chase scenes are fucking awesome.
Phenomenal.
So yeah, you know what? Watch it with friends, but drink a lot of beers because you're going to be talking while they're doing the story stuff. That doesn't matter because this story has zero
relevance.
points.
Yeah.
There's no story here. Guys want Dune Buggy. Guys get Dune Buggy. That's the story.
Anytime a motor's running, it's a great scene.
Yeah.
That's it.
So it's really fun to watch until it isn't. That's kind of where I was at with it. That's why I wasn't sure. Like even going into this and even at the end, I was like,
I can see your apprehension for it, though.
yeah. It's hard to recommend to people, but in the case of it's a party or maybe not a party, it's too many people, but you got
No,
friends over,
but-
you're drinking, you're putting on background noise, put it on because then somebody's going to look up and go, that guy just pick a dude up off a motorcycle and then you're all
Yeah.
watching.
Look,
So-
I'm not recommending this to my mom, but I'm going to recommend it to anybody listening to this podcast.
Definitely.
yeah,
If you're listening
yeah.
to this podcast,
You
watch
are
it.
you are of our ilk,
Yes, most likely. Either that or you just really, really hate yourself and you like
which is
hearing
part
about-
of our ilk.
Yeah,
You know
okay,
what?
That's fair.
I would recommend this to my mother because my
Well,
mother would actually like this.
All right.
I would not recommend this to my mother because she would be like, what did we do? Where'd we
our-
go? Where did we
my
go
mom
wrong?
would
Our
finally
mothers
curse.
are two different generations.
my just very chaste mother would be like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
How old is your mother?
I don't know, 63.
Oh yeah, see, mine's like a whole. My mother was born in the 40s.
I could be off. I really don't know. I'm not a good person. I'm on a podcast that says I'm a worse people. In case you didn't know, have you ever heard of it?
No, I've never heard of it. What is it called?
Bad movies.
Hold on, let me read your shirt.
Bad
Bad
movies,
movies, worse
worse people.
people.
Yeah, worse with an E, not a T.
Yeah.
That's like one of those things people get wrong all the time. And I'm like, what do you mean worst people? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
We don't eat sausages on air.
I know I'm
although
not.
I would.
I know I'm not on English. Oh, a couple of glizzies.
Yeah,
Couple
you
glizzies?
just gonna glizzy down on air. We're the worst people.
And I got crackers over there, and I'm like,
I'm gonna hold a glizzy like a fucking cigar. Mash, eh?
I do that all the time.
You have to. That's how I eat my fucking taquitos.
So I'll do the letterbox reviews that I've been doing lately. Trying to remember to do. I know there's some I missed, but we have one. There wasn't a lot of 1 stars and there wasn't a lot of 5 stars, but there was a lot in the middle.
I fully agree with that. Mine's gonna live somewhere in there.
So the first I have here is 2 stars from Brent. That's it, just
Let's
Brent.
see what Brent knows.
Okay, Brent.
It's very short. The Dune Buggy
So is
song that
Brent.
plays in nearly every scene will haunt my nightmares. That's it.
Yeah, Brent's the song is lost on Brent. He doesn't get it.
And then we have a
He
one.
doesn't get it?
He doesn't get it at all. We have a 1 star.
Fuck it all.
We have a 1 star from Depressed Bergman.
Okay.
That was written just a couple months ago, July 2023. 10 minutes into this film, I got a splitting headache. And that might be related to the song as well.
You know what? That is a reference to the song. And you know what? You don't get it either, pal.
There's another one I'm going to paraphrase here. It's a 5-star review that also has a little like heart next to it. I'm going to paraphrase it because let me show you guys.
Oh, God.
Holy
But I saved it for the exclusive reason of the beginning.
Countries were started with less words than that.
Yeah, this is
your
a
entire
fucking
screen.
a manifesto. But I saved it because of
Wait,
the
what's
beginning.
the username? Ted Kaczynski?
The username is Toothpick Mo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
And it was
Yeah.
also written this year.
Aliases.
So far, all these reviews were written this year, which is interesting.
Well, because you couldn't review it in 74.
Well,
on
but
Letterboxd.
I mean, Letterboxd has been around for a lot longer than 2023.
It's true.
I only saved it because I read the very beginning and it was very exciting to me. And I'm gonna mispronounce this director's name in here, even though I love the director because I don't know French. But if Miyazaki, Mel Brooks, and Quentin Dupieux, whatever it is,
You're trying.
it's the guy that made Rubber.
Uh-huh.
Sat down, got real drunk on beer and real full of hot dogs, this is what you would get.
Glizzies.
Also, several of the featured actors have intensely beautiful eyes. Anyway, every time you hear the nonsense song Dune Buggy by Oliver Onions, it'll be a lot, you know you're in for an extended sequence where our 2 heroes effortlessly and casually beat the living hell out of an endless cavalcade of henchmen in increasingly ridiculous ways.
This guy gets it.
Yes,
This
he
guy
does.
gets it. That song brings happiness and joy and beautiful screen presence.
Yeah,
That song
and-
has screen presence.
And then I looked at these reviews before I watched the movie. So like I read that far into the review and I was like, I'm not reading the rest of your review guide, TLDR.
Yeah.
But I'm in.
Yeah.
One
get it.
more 5-star review. Well, I have 2. But this one, this person's username is just a zombie emoji.
Fair enough.
And it's not a zombie emoji. It's literally just a zombie emoji.
Mhm.
I
That's
can't
a
believe I
clever
used to have a crush on blonde Ted Bundy.
I believe it.
Which I forgot about that one until I just read it right now. And I'm like, oh man, we were saying Steve McQueen and all this other. You're not wrong.
Yeah. Ted Bundy got away with some shit for a reason.
Last one, because it's a good note to go out on. Cinema peaked with this movie, but you're not ready for that conversation. From NCH Gonre 13.
Gonorrhea?
Yeah, I was gonna say hit me up until that gonorrhea thing.
It's GONRE.
yeah, gonorrhea.
13.
I don't
Gonorrhea.
know.
Yeah.
But cinema peaked with this movie, and you're not ready for that conversation.
There you go.
So that's it for this week. Next week, we will be moving into February, which is a month that we are going to spend celebrating movies filmed in mostly or all in Arizona.
Because
I'm
that's
here
our
for it.
state's birth.
Because that's
month.
where that's where we're from. It became a state in February 14th. I don't know if Valentine's Day was a thing back then.
I'm sure
It's
it
a-
was.
Seems
Oh, I
like a
think
weird
so.
day to
According
pick
to
it.
the lore that Hallmark has built, yes.
Oh yeah, Valentine's Day was before Christ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so next week, I believe the movie we're discussing is The Postman.
Oh God, yes. Strap in for a long one, and I mean the movie and the episode.
Yeah, 'cause the movie's like what, 3 hours and 20 minutes?
Kevin, we've never had Kevin Costner on here.
No.
You haven't heard me talk about Kevin Costner enough.
Yes, we
we've
have.
still heard you talk about
I
Kevin
said
Costner.
enough. I said you haven't heard enough.
But filmed mostly in Arizona.
Uh-huh.
So we'll be doing that. And then all through the rest of the month, we'll have some other Arizona movies. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to check out our YouTube page. It's Bad Movies, Worst People on YouTube. You can find the show as New Movies, Worst People. We do videos about new movies, hence the title. You can go Check out Evasion on SoundCloud, Spotify, wherever. Don't forget to buy merch, badmoviesworstpeople.com. I have been Derek.
I'm still Whitney.
I'm Jack.
Good night, and go dune buggy yourself.
I feel like fighting you guys.
Put 'em up. Put 'em up.
This episode is going nowhere.
Garbage. You know what? I'm gonna ADR this whole fucking podcast, dude. You record whatever you want. I'm gonna get the masters to this and just W in.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Derek.
If you've thought about recording a podcast before, but like myself, realized you need a lot of different tools and services, well, those days are over. With Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform, you can create your podcast all in one place and easily distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. You can record studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests and feel a sense of zen knowing that Zencastr's multi-layered backups ensure you always have your recordings in the highest quality, even if the connection is unstable. Go to Zencaster.com/pricing and use my code WORSTPeople, that's WORSEPEOPLE, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencaster paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experience I do for all my podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story.